Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Umzansi Esports League, Day 8 in Season 3, brought to you by Nordwing Gaming. My name is Dr. Sid, and I'm here with two amazing guys, Snare and Thendo Plays, and we will be giving you the amazing action from the FIFA tournament. Hey guys, how's your weekend been so far?
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah. Excited for some.
Oh, everybody's looking amazing. Yo, Snare, I'm watching. I'm actually coming to get that windbreaker from you later on, bro.
You'll have to pry it from my cold, dead hands. Unfortunately, this is my survival against the elements right now, so it's staying on my body.
Well, up next, we have some amazing FIFA gameplay coming up. Let's take a look at the standings of the FIFA tournament as they are right now. Stay, you want to talk us through this one?
So we see right now that the top three hasn't really changed since the opening kind of matchups between the Beast, Unfazed, and Divac occupying those slots. Some movement has happened as yesterday Young Savage was able to take a victory over Mayhem, getting himself 4th place, unfortunately putting Darth Mayhem at the very bottom of the pack. And the only two players that have one game in them, Bobo Beast and Mobizilla, they're sort of hanging in the balance, making it very difficult to determine exactly what the full table looks like at this point. Either of them with the win have the opportunity of knocking Young Savage and Masoom a little bit lower off their perches. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that actually shakes out. But I think we're starting to get a bit more of a closer reflection of what this might start to look like as time goes on. But it's still early days. So this can still be very shuffled. But I do think we're going to see a lot of excellence and a lot of contestation happening, especially between the top 3 players.
And today's matchup is between Mobizilla and Bobo Beast. Thendo, tell us about these guys, what you know about these guys so far in the tournament.
Well, I got a chance to watch Mobi's one game, and I was pretty impressed with his game style and his approach to the game against his opponent. I haven't had a chance to see Bobo just yet, so this is going to be a first for me. So I'm going to have to first absorb everything from this first leg. So, I mean, let's bring the storylines over here of this is going to be carnage from what I've heard so far, that these two will be a very, very, very good matchup to watch tonight. So I'm pretty excited to see how this one goes. I'm predicting more on the side of Mobi. I feel like my cards are on the side of Mobi here to take this one out, but I'm not gonna count Bobo just yet, you know. But we're first gonna have to see those rosters and see what players you know, here and there in their squads.
And let's hope they come through with some amazing metas. But to remind everyone once again what these players are playing for, the Season 3 prize pool for the Umzansi Esports League stands at a whopping $17,500, with the prize pool of $15,000 going to PUBG Mobile and $2,500 going to the players in FIFA. Remind everyone also that only the top 4 teams qualify for the next round. Will move on for a chance to win this prize pool. Ladies and gentlemen, the action is about to start. Our players are ready, and we are super excited to see what's going to happen today. I know that at this point in time, these are the only 2 players on the leaderboard who have played only one match. So today, they're going to be playing their second matches and show us what the table looks like after all players have played even matches. The top 2 are not going to be shaking, but for everyone else, it is fair game, depending on the goal difference and depending on how these players put on a show today. So we're looking for excitement. It is going to be amazing. If we are ready, let's go straight into the action in the Umzansi Esports League Season 3, brought to you by Nordwing Gaming. This is Day 8. The FIFA 21 tournament is live. If you are not following Nordwing Gaming, make sure you follow us on all our socials, as Snare and Thendo will take us through all the action live as Bobo Beast and Mobizilla come through and take the chance to get some points. Take it away, guys.
Perfectly timed segue there, Dr. Sid. That's why they pay him the big bucks. So, Mr. Thendo, here we are. Leg number 1, Bobo, definitely going to be the underdog in this situation. So the expectation is going to be that Mobi going to be coming out swinging. However, we have seen Bobo put up a couple of upsets over the course of his career. What do you think he's going to be able to do here? Firstly, can he defend this attack that's coming in right now, thick and fast from Mobi?
Yeah, and I mean, we see this all the time in the beginning of these games. There's always that one player that's gonna, you know, be in the steering wheel And it's looking like it's going to be a Moby to start things off here. He's got Messi in the box, but he's going to be offside. So that's an unfortunate situation. So now there is some time for Bobo to reset and get things rolling.
Yeah, trying to play out slowly, see what he can do for himself on the left flank. Time will tell whether or not he fares better than he did in his first outing. Did cop a loss that time around. But Moby, I think the real complication is that Moby also lost, so he's going to be very desperate to get himself on the board. So might not be as patient in terms of building up the play. We'll be trying to storm fast as humanly possible. And here we go. Here comes an attack. Harry Kane to Messi. This is going to be nice holding up play from Kane. Gets the ball deep into the box. Looking for an opportunity to get it into the middle. We see now onto Umzansi. Can he find the space? The dribble! Can't get past, but still back into possession on Mason Mount. A lot of new players that we're seeing here from Mr. Mobizilla that we aren't seeing from anybody else here, Tendo.
Yeah, indeed. He's playing the ball quite well. He's opening up the defense. He's getting the defenders off the line. And thankfully, Bobo is able... I'm going to be so confused the entire night, I'm telling you. It's going to be like Moby, Bobo, Moby, Bobo. Because it's kind of similar. So forgive me in that. But right now, Bobo with the ball with Atal. Atal's been one of those players that a lot of the players in this Umzansi Esports League have been picking. And for good reason. His attack prowess is quite superb, you know. So it's good to see that that's like a recurring pick. And I mean, you know that if somebody has that player on their team, they know exactly what they're doing. So far, so good, yeah. But Messi, also one of those dangerous players on the side of Moby, not able to get the pass on though.
Try to sniff out Jesus Navas. Classic player. I'm very glad to see somebody showing the right respect. So even if Moby doesn't come right with this team, he's showing some due difference to the greats. Earns himself a corner kick here. What he's going to be able to achieve. This might be some danger because Bobo, in this kind of position, he has the ability to sort of play very slowly, get it back onto Atal, who has been quite instrumental for various players. It does seem that Moby has tons of defenders back, and this might be the counter-attack. Messi, does he find the pace to be able to run past Mbappe? Unfortunately not. Forced to hold it up. Mason Mount on the far side of a through ball, but unfortunately the ball itself was a little bit too weighty. So it instead finds the goalkeeper instead.
Yeah, goalkeeper doing good to come off his line. So now it's going to be Bobo playing it down the wing with Cancelo. Going to try open up some space here, Cancelo on Bobo. Now he's in the box here. Mbappe, dangerous when he's in this position here. And he's going to run past a couple of defenders, but it's not enough. As Shaw's able to stabilize things at the back here. Going to pass it up. And will be able to stabilize the defense for Moby.
Oof. A little bit unfortunate there. It seemed so close for Bobo. The opportunity came, but the opportunity went, and suddenly wasn't able to get things going forward. The turnaround will be there. Here we go. The issue is he's been struggling to get past in this final third, despite being able to get the ball deep into the box. Actually getting past the defenders has been a problem, but now here's the chance. Harry Kane, he's through, he's in! And that's going to be the opening goal of the context. Mobizilla makes it happen. And out of nowhere, Kane in that position with the perfect strike. We see why he belongs in the team over and above some other players that everybody else has been using. But he picks Kane, picks the pass, picks the shot, and gets the goal.
Yeah, and I mean, Kane is one of those players that just has this presence on the field. You know, he's got that stature, and, you know, he's in the right place at the right time for that pass. He's passed the defenders who are kind of caught sleeping in that situation. So I wonder if Bobo's going to try to wake things up here. He is on an attack right now, and he can be dangerous under this position. He's got a Tal, Neymar running towards the front here. Mbappe is also in there that he can pass to, but the passes are going haywire here. It's like a broken circuit as it is stumbled in the middle of the field here. So now, Moby back on it.
Moby finding a lot of danger from these positions. And if you look at the balance of his team, he's picking up players who have a lot of awareness, but primarily attacking positioning is the main thing. Everybody else is relying on pace, but Moby is just going to say, well, my players don't need to be incredibly fast if they're always there at the right time, at the right place. I'm going to see if he can apply that philosophy defensively, though, because Bobo coming in yet again. Mendy down on the flank. Trying to make the run of Cancelo on the right side. It didn't work out. Seeming to be more successful on the left, but he keeps drawing these corner kicks. Seeming to still struggle to find a way in. So he gets it very well up here, but Moby, his shape is holding so solidly at the back end. We've seen this play recycled onto a towel before, and just like last time, the pass snuffed out, instantly back into possession for Moby once more.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing tonight because it's as much as yes, Moby's ahead by 1 goal. I think it was a beautiful opportunity and chance that he created. It's been a bit of a back and forth so far, which we haven't seen much in these matchups. So you can definitely see that Bobo is prepared to make this comeback with all the attacks that he's creating, seeing all these corners that are coming through. But you can't sleep on Moby and the players right now, as it's passed on to De Jong, who's trying to open up the middle of the field, but it does seem like the defense of Bobo is starting to stabilize and read the game a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. That was some of the critique that was levied against Bobo in his first outing. Holding defensive discipline. Seems to have taken that part. The goal did come through. However, that was a goal that very few players on earth could have prevented from happening. And Bobo is still holding strong. Like you mentioned, it's back and forth. It's not a blast out by any stretch of the imagination. And a beautiful cross into Mbappe. Mbappe can't find the opportunity to finish. And the ball goes back to a towel, but blocked by PK. Danger's not over just yet, though. Bruno Fernandes back in position. Can he get through? No. De Jong forces him away from it. And now with so many players forward, Tendo, is this the chance for a counter-attack?
Counter-attack was on, but the pass goes haywire there. So now the counter-attack is flipped like a Uno card here, as Bobo's the one to play it, but he plays the ball a little bit too deep for the player to catch on. So we're going to go into halftime. Yes, and I mean, it's been back and forth, I think. Look at that 50% possession on both sides. So, I mean, the chances are coming from both sides. The possession is from both sides. So this is probably one of the most equally matched, games we've seen so far. But yeah, I mean, we maybe just want to see a little bit more finishing on the side of Bobo. I think the chances are there, but he's just not able to follow through.
That is a problem indeed. We'll see if he decides to make any changes to his shape going into the second half. One of the key things that I saw that gave me a lot of hope for how he's going forward was his ability to really shut down the wings. It really does seem like for the most part, well, maybe not on the left side. We just see some runs from Barnes, but Mason Mount has been completely invisible for Moby. Been relying very much on getting the ball to his forwards and wait for the driving runs. And if Bobo can keep the game in that kind of position, I think he has enough discipline to prevent any goals from coming. But like you mentioned, the question is, can he get goals of his own? And as the second half commences, we will find out. He gets this. Forward run, not really looking like it's that threatening just yet, but what do you think? Is this going to be the early goal for him?
I don't know. I mean, look how well the line is held right now on the side of Moby. Defense is ready for any kind of pass to go through. He's really struggling over here, Bobo, to even find a pass on without running into a defender. So now it's on to De Jong, who can play the ball down to the wings. So yeah, sure, passes it to Kane. Kane already on the scoring board, probably looking for some more on the side of Moby. So he's playing it well down. Can the defense stabilize here? And it does seem like they can.
A tackle from Varane. This might actually open up the opportunity. Mbappe has yard of space. He's utilizing it right now. Deep run, but the cross. He does manage to find the shot on Neymar. Unfortunately, yet again, finding himself unlucky because the block from PK. Putting his body on the line, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do as the defender. It keeps this game in advantage for Moby.
Great interception there in the back. So, Varane passing it down to Vera, Mbappe. Bobo trying to create some space here on the wing. He's getting closed out quite well here by Moby, but manages to find Neymar in the middle. Bobo trying some work here, but it's not really gonna work in his favor, unfortunately. Defense just too strong. Line held too well here on the opposite end. So now they're able to win the ball back, and it's gonna be Moby back on the attack.
It does seem like he's been slowly but surely advancing where the neutral position of the play is. It has been a while, it seems, here in the second half before we've seen Moby actually make a run that seemed threatening. Like now, he's making this run forward, right? But it seemed like it'll be difficult for him to break down the movements. The passing lanes are completely occupied. Does get a deep pass in onto Jesus Navas, but can't get back in the middle. Oh, very errant header there. Very lucky for him that Neymar was fast enough to get back on that ball. It could have been dangerous otherwise. But I really like what I'm seeing from Bobos. Despite the fact that he's down one, he's been controlling the game here in the second half. Does get zest with the forward run by Neymar. Now he's actually going to be feeling really, really hard done by having conceded that early goal. Imagine if this was a draw situation. Then you'd be very happy going into the second leg, feeling to yourself, well, I've sort of figured him out. I just need more time to break down his defense. But the way he's looking right now, he might now end up falling prey to the pressure that comes down to only being 1 goal away. Might be a goal. Nope. Yet again, defended magnificently by Bobo.
Yeah, defense is really awake now, but a cross comes in. Not able to find anybody besides the defense of Bobo. Bobo creating most of the opportunities in the second half. Like you said, he's really controlling the pace of how things are going. Just needs to find the back of the net at this point. The pass goes AY in the middle of the field once again. So now it's on to Messi. Messi trying to create some space for a run on pass here, but the pass goes back to the defense. De Jong on it, going to be able to play down to Shaw for Moby. Moby, no space for him to work. Bobo just defending too hard here. The ball is on the wing. Can a cross come in here, maybe to work? But no, the defensive line is pressing so hard here. It's hard to even create some opportunities.
Despite the fact that he's ahead right now, Moby's the one that's playing under pressure. Goes in to try to cut across goal. Finally did find a little sliver of possession deep in the box, but unfortunately cannot convert it into a goal. One of the few chances he's actually had to clear a shot on goal. Unfortunately, will not be able to take it. Does manage to keep possession of the ball, so there's no counter-attack incoming. Really interesting to see how this game is developing. Although Moby right now probably realizing to himself that he might be better served. Also thinking about some game management as the clock is dwindling down. Does still have the advantage. And you never want to concede that just because you were greedy for more goals, right?
Yeah, very true. You don't want to concede that advantage. You don't want to get things shaky towards the end here where things start to crumble. 78th minute, players now starting to feel a little bit of the fatigue as well. So you got to manage that. Ball playing very risky at the back, and it might get lost, but luckily De Jong's on it for Moby, playing a little bit too reckless there for his own good. But Kane now has the ball onto Messi, so now Moby's gonna try to create some space here. Will he find the second one in this game to give himself an even bigger advantage moving into the second leg? Or will Bobo be able to hold things down? It goes to a defender. And he saves it.
Okay, so close. That could have really put the nail in the coffin. Fortunately for Bobo, the game is still in play. I'm not sure he can find the goal in these dying moments. And the frustration is certainly going to be seeping in, but makes his life easier in the long run with regards to the goal difference. We'll see if it ends up mattering, as right now, it is still just a clear advantage for Moby, who is actually going to be the one to pause things out himself. He wants to start making some changes. Getting off Flickshaw, putting on Angelino. Also seeing that, man, Mason Mount is not getting anything done in this game, so might as well replace him. Get on Fekiro or Otavio. At least something to just hold out the game, wind out the clock, and finish this one out. 1-0 is still a victory.
Yeah, 1-0 is definitely a victory, and you got to hold on to those, you know, because it's so easy to slip away when you're in this kind of position. It just takes one good play on the side of Bobo to, you know, open things up for the second leg to be a little bit more exciting than what it's looking like now. Because as long as Moby is able to retain this lead moving into the second leg, he'll have the confidence, and he just needs another goal, you know, and he's ahead by 2, and he'll be good. But there is a cross here coming in. I think it's going to be played short. It is played short. So now Moby has an opportunity.
Doesn't seem like it just yet. He gets the ball, keeping possession. I mean, it doesn't have to be pretty. Just win the game, Moby. That's all we need from you right now. Also, I have the final word in the game. We'll give up possession for just a second, but goes aggressively with Angelino. The substitute making an impact, and now Messi, possession back onto Barnes. Can he get the ball in? No, he cannot. This is it, Tendo. The last roll of the dice. Can Bobo make something happen with this? How much time is going to be added by the referee? Only 1 minute. Literally only an opportunity for one passage of play. Can he make it happen? The ball to Mendy. Unfortunately, he made it. But he owns a corner. This is lucky.
Very lucky indeed for him. And palms must be sweaty at this point. The cross goes in. The keeper off his mark. It's not going to look like he's going to be able to capitalize off this one. And the refs are going to call it right there. 1-0 to Moby. He just holds on, I think. Yes, because I'm not too impressed with how that match went for the team of Mobi. I mean, for the most part, it felt like Bobo was in the driver's seat and he just was unable to, you know, get his finishing on. And most of the opportunities were created on his side, I believe. So, yeah, that's going to be just like stepping on a nail for him. He's going to feel a little bit sore afterwards. But, hey, I mean, it's only one goal. You definitely can come back. I think he's read his opponent quite well so far.
Yeah, he adapted a lot. I mean, the early goal that happened, it was one of these opportunities where it happened very early in the game as you're still adapting and getting used to the natural flow of the play. So you get taken by surprise, the goal happens. Like you mentioned, he makes sure that it doesn't happen again, but very hard done fact that he got held to not being able to score any goals at all. But he's figured out a lot from Mobi, right? Prevented Mobi from being able to do anything aggressive, despite having players who are pure marksmen, such as Messi or Kane. He's still only able to get that one goal in. So if you're going into the second game, you're feeling a lot more confident if you're Bobo. But you're still thinking to yourself, only I get my own goal. But I think also the fact that he has now 0, right? When you see 0 on the score sheet, mentally it helps a lot. You're not thinking to yourself, I'm chasing the game. You're still mentally giving yourself room to just win the game, right? So he's not going to be forcing himself into a situation where he's playing without the full freedom that comes when you're going for a W instead of just a draw.
Yeah, no, 100% I agree with you. So, I mean, we're going to have to see a couple of, you know, the approaches of how that game went change, you know, I think mainly from the side of Mobi, because I feel like if, you know, Bobo comes in, how he was playing throughout that entire game onto Mobi and he's not ready for, you know, not having that advantage right away, I feel like it will start to become a rolling effect with his defenses, you know, open up opportunities for the side of Bobo to create attacks. And I mean, what's Natal, Mbappe, Neymar on those balls? He just needs the opportunity to get, you know, a high percentage shot, and then he'll be in the net. And then, you know, it's one goal, then another goal, and another goal, and all of a sudden the match is back for him. And the match is back indeed as we kick this off.
My boy's out here with the segues today, and indeed.
The timings, you know, just like crisp.
We'll see if Bobo will be able to reach the same crisp timings here, or if Mobi can continue to grind this one out, or if he's going to be the one that actually has made the internal changes necessary for victory as we kick off. For now, Bobo being very hesitant to try and develop anything forward. He realizes that he got caught on the counter attack last time, so he wants to be very, very before he starts trying to advance the ball. And this does mean that he's not looking very threatening just yet, but there's no opportunities as of now for Mobi to do anything himself either. So you're okay with playing patiently, and very nice repossession. Is this going to be a goal? Neymar in the box looking for the dribble, holding it up right now, cannot find support. And PK, man, PK has just been, you were talking earlier about the nail in the foot. It feels like PK has just been the axe taking the foot off entirely for here.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he was a very big, you know, contributor to the success of the defense from the last game, you know. Without PK being that pillar, that rock in that defense, I think a lot more opportunities could have gone in the favor of Bobo. But yeah, he's holding things down. And I mean, the side of Mobi is so well put together as well. I mean, once you have De Jong in that position that he's in, he's able to just, you know, create a lot of room and free flow for the defenders to just focus on if the ball gets passed, because we know De Jong can hold down the ball in the middle of the field quite well. So now Bobo trying to make his attack, passing it down the lines.
See what he can make it happen here. It actually still keeps possession despite the ball bouncing once or twice over players from Mobi. This might be the opportunity. João Cancelo finding the space, get the cross a little bit too far forward. Edison instead will be the one that meets the ball, keeps it from connecting. So we are still 0-0, but yet again we're seeing that the explosiveness is primarily coming in from Bobo. Mobi did manage to get very deep into the box, but very similar to the game 1 where he gets there, but unfortunately finds no effective way to get on a shot on target, find actually a threatening position on goal, and instead he's just sort of passing it around. Can't really do anything with it. Still keeping Bobo away from scoring himself, and now ball, will it get to Messi? Yeah, it does, but he's years offside, so the flag would get raised.
Yeah, it feels like Mobi gets caught offside quite often, actually. He makes a couple of the players, you know, make a run, and the timing is just a little bit off for the passes, and, you know, it's not something that, you know, you frown upon all the time, because obviously you're trying to create opportunities, but it does, you know, play on the mental a little bit. It does waste a little bit of the time of the game, you know. It gives, you know, Bobo some time to reset his thinking, especially when it looked like it was a scoring opportunity. He's able to just cool off, but still on the attack here is Moby. And Mount back to Messi. The attacking prowess on his team is also just, deadly. Anybody he passes forward pretty much can score a goal here, and scoring a goal is Messi's thing, but right there, seems like the defense is in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, right place, right time seems to be Bobo's thing at this point, as despite all this attacking prowess, I was actually about to make the joke that you mentioned Mason Mount, and I legitimately forgot that he was in the team. Moby now having to defend himself. Bruno Fernandes in on goal. Back the ball onto Neymar. Neymar gets in with the spin and the goal! What a roulette. Curving the shot into the bottom corner. Nicely done. 1-0 up for Bobo. Finally done it. It feels like he's been attacking for 2 legs straight. And he suddenly gets the goal. Woo! What a guy.
Yeah, the fancy footwork from Neymar, just beautiful. And that's what I was talking about earlier, where, you get the ball into one of his attackers and anybody's able to, capitalize off that. Neymar does so well there for Bobo. So it's that situation, when we're talking in between the legs, where you are Moby and you are pretty much on the driver's, not the driver's seat, the passenger seat for how that first leg went. And Bobo's been controlling pretty much of everything. So now with this lead, with this advantage, with this confidence back on the side of Bobo, but we maybe speak a little bit too soon as Messi's in the box here, doesn't create much. But yeah, I mean, this momentum that Bobo has is all he needs right now to, pull this game back now.
That momentum indeed has been gained. That was a dangerous moment. He almost conceded a goal, and any pro FIFA player will tell you that the most dangerous time to concede a goal is right after you've scored one. So Bobo will be very happy that he's managed to keep things clean for now. And despite all these dangerous opportunities, he's still very, very strong in his defense. So good job from him. Let's see what he can do with this 1-goal lead. Right now, provided nothing changes, we have grounded out. It is going to be, I believe, the first draw of the entire tournament. If nothing changes, but there's still a lot of time left in the game. First half hasn't even finished up just yet. And Bobo, I do not think will be comfortable with just 1-0. He wants more. Does get prevented from running up though. The midfield pairing of De Jong and Valverde has definitely been the strongest part of Moby's team, despite the fact that he's got all these superstar names in the forward line of the attack.
Yeah, and I mean, it's that situation where we bring up PK, and why PK was doing so good. It's because of that middle field pairing, just able to, retain the ball so well. And unfortunately losing it there. So our Mount wins it back though onto De Jong. And now you can just tell that Bobo's completely read the play style of Moby. The defense is just, look at that. He gets the interception so well. So the counter attack is on here. And Neymar just holds onto the ball a little bit too long there, gets caught.
I think maybe he didn't believe his own luck there on the side of Bobo. Sometimes you outplay yourself. You're like, wow, I'm not actually that good on defense, right? I didn't think he'd have that much space.
Oof.
So took the extra time. Oof. Speaking of extra time, I thought the touch was going to go wide, but it almost curls into the back of the net. Required a very good save there. Earns a corner kick for Moby. Does not earn a goal, however. Not just yet. Neymar back in defensively. Able to make sure he plays this one out. Came very close, and Moby will feel now that every opportunity that he tries, he's trying different things, which is very good. But the fact that every different thing is still being adapted to by Bobo is going to start frustrating him. So now he needs to start thinking about what changes to make going into the second half, because as it stands right now, all the work he did to hold out and grind out a victory in leg 1 has been invalidated.
Yeah, and the mental right now has to be strong for Moby. You have to bounce back to some degree. The game isn't lost yet, obviously, second half only starting now. And, with the attack that he has, with the plays that he's been creating, he definitely can make this happen, can make this comeback happen. He just needs to find the passes. He needs to create the opportunities now. And he also needs to kind of pray that Bobo's defense kind of falls asleep, because they've been awake. And it's not only his defense that's awake, it's the entire team.
Definitely the entire team of Bobo. They're playing like a very solid unit. The ball, as soon as it touches one of their feet, it pretty much has set routes, right? It's like he's playing with macros at this point. See if he can defend this oncoming attack once more. Valverde did it onto Messi, but the shame firm Still no advancing way possible for Mr. Mobizilla. And as time clicks down, desperation is going to start setting in. A draw is where it stands right now. Not good enough, though. A man of this caliber, with his accolades in the past, will definitely want a victory in this one. Can he earn it, though? Valverde and De Jong, the interplay between them always looks good, but unfortunately, that's where it seems to end. Gets it forward onto Mount. The tackle doesn't come in just yet, but still, no advancing play here, Tendo. Just nothing.
There's just nothing for him here. I mean, the defense is locked down. At this point, it's a padlock. Messi trying to create something, but nothing's being created here. Moby not able to create any chances so far. The defense is so superb on the side of Bobo. He's going to play the long ball. Manages to find somebody. Going to play it on. So now he's in for the attack here. Can get another goal here. But defense and the keeper, just too much for the players to handle there. But Neymar still on it for Bobo. What can he do from here? Mbappe on the ball. Mbappe trying to find the pass. Can't find one, but still stumbles back into a player for Bobo here. The dribble comes through. The shot. Keeper there to save it.
Reaches across goal, but it doesn't get into the back of goal. Still in the game here. Bamba back on possession. Can he get it into the middle? No, he cannot. The box is crowded, but it's also crowded with Moby's defenders. And he keeps this one 1-0. It's still a draw. Moby, he says to himself, well, if I had to grind out a 1-0 victory, you're going to have to do the same, my friend. And now here's my turn. Luke Shaw trying to rush forward. This might be another rare time to get the counter-attack. Gets it back onto Barnes. The shot was off. And the header over the keeper. He got the shot. It got deflected. And with Harvey Barnes able to get the goal, Mobizilla doesn't need control of the game. Doesn't need possession. Doesn't need many shots on goal. But all he needs is the goals. And he gets his first one. And now it's 2-1 on aggregate. He's back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and I mean, after that scrambling of breakfast eggs at the opposite end, it almost looked like, you know, when you're in that situation where you're almost scoring like 5 shots, you know, and you just can't get it in, and then all of a sudden the ball is just turned over on the opposite end and the team scores. You have to be beating yourself up, you know, at that point when you're Bobo. But you have to also just bounce back, and bouncing back is what he does best, it looks like. Yeah, he's able to play the ball on. Players are running in to get a pass in, but the defender jumps in with the hander to clear it. Things are heated. It's tense in this matchup. Bobo versus Moby in the Umzansi Esports League, hosted by Nodwin Gaming. It's heated here, Snare.
These defenders for Moby throwing their bodies in front of this goal like the goal is the president. Keeping it safe, keeping it alive. And now, with this 1-1, Moby, if he gets one more goal, it's pretty much curtains. The cross goes in, doesn't find its way into the back of the net. And you were mentioning earlier that Bobo's going to be kicking himself. But the question is, can he maintain his discipline even while he's kicking himself? We know he's fuming. But if he loses his discipline, suddenly these goals can start streaming in from Moby, because that's the kind of goal that fires you up as a player as well. Moby might find a hidden pocket of form, but he also needs to make sure he keeps this particular scoreline. Does not want to draw. He's going to make changes. He's like, want to keep things, I cannot keep the shape. Like you keep mentioning, people are tired. Game's getting on. So trying to bring on Angelino, trying to bring on Otavio. Time to win the game, fam. Time to win the game.
Yeah, and I mean, this is one of those matchups where it's almost like Brain versus Braun. Braun on the side of Bobo, who almost has all the plays, you know, he's able to create all these opportunities, all these chances. He's looking the best on the pitch. But then you go onto the opposite end where Moby is just playing his calm, cool, collected game, reading it well, knowing that Bobo's going to be looking to attack, knowing that he's a good attacker and a good attacking player. He can just play the counter attacks, and that's exactly how it's going here. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword here. But we'll see how it goes. There's still, 18 minutes left? And I mean, anything can happen in 18 minutes in a FIFA game. So changes are coming in. Let's see what happens here, Snare.
So play will resume right now. The set piece for Bobo. Won't be able to find himself directly in on goal from this position, but can use the time to try to set up appropriately. 18 minutes left, like you mentioned. That plus added time. That came very close. Well, in a corner kick, though, so the danger's not clear just yet.
Oh!
Oh!
Looked like it was going in there. Oh, that's
powerful header. but unfortunately just hit the side netting. Oh, that's gonna have made Bobo's heart jump into his throat. Sadly though, no goal, can't celebrate. His work still has to come.
Yeah, lots of work to be done, and I mean, it's not over. Also on the opposite end of Moby, yes, he's in the lead, but he needs to hold things down. There's still a lot of time for him to crumble. Diong on the ball, gonna play it towards the wings here. Oh, this is a beautiful pass in here that he can work if he's got the space, but the defender closes it. Moby not able to capitalize again on the opportunity. Will he regret it here as Bobo's on the attack? Bobo finds a pass on. Is he going to be onside?
Offside.
He gets the shot
What?
in.
What?
He goes
Referee?
the distance.
Referee?
The referee doesn't hear you, Snare. The goal is in for Messi.
Oh my
Bobo
god.
somehow gets it in. Ah, what a shot, honestly. I
Oh
thought
my
he was going to go for
goodness.
the chip, but he goes for the finesse. Hits the pole, gets it in.
That's beyond finesse. That's just reality bending, the way he's able to curve that shot into the back of the net. Incredible stuff from Bobo Beast. And now you were mentioning earlier how Bobo was going to be kicking himself from missing the goals. Man, Moby, he had an opportunity. Kane was literally fully open the moment before the play got converted, but exactly what happened earlier. You take the time to try to get this goal. The ball somehow finds itself scrambling into another player. Suddenly it's in the back of your own net. And now he's going to try to get his own back here. Goes for the finesse shot of his own. The top corner will deny him. The post itself says no. And this game still rests 2-2 on aggregate.
Man, I mean, FIFA is a game of 11 players. Can we add the post as a extra man, maybe? You know, in that situation, it's a little bit grim. But now, Bobo trying to play things here. He can maybe win this one if he plays it well. Unfortunately, he doesn't get that pass. And it's so heated right now. It's tense. You can almost cut the atmosphere. Messi now on the ball for Moby. Moby needs to find something here if he's going to take this day away with a positive. Now onto De Jong. De Jong finds the pass. Will the cross be in? Will he try to pull it back? The fancy footwork being closed off by the defender here. Finds De Jong. Kane. Oh, but Bobo, just a rock, a pillar at this point, doesn't want to be broken.
Yeah, Rafa Varane there at the back, making sure that he holds firm, holds strong. Final play of the game with only 2 minutes of added time announced by the referee. What will happen? Bruno Fernandes will be able to find Messi, get the right run and beautiful chipboard into on the touchline. No! Bobo Beast over dribbles. Additional touch, a bit too heavy. As a result, the game will end 2-2. It's going to be the scoreline. Both of these men came in looking for their first win, but instead they're going to walk away with the first draw. As on aggregate, we are down 2-2.
Yeah.
That was some amazing football at the end of that match. I was literally expecting Mobizilla to come away with that win, but Bobo showed the class and talent for the teams, for both teams to come away with a draw. Now let's take a look at the scores for this match. It is Bobo 2 and Mobizilla 2. So both teams, both players sharing a point. And let's see what the updated standings looks like.
Oof, this is painful right here. Both of them, they played their second matches. You were hoping, I think, both of them, that they wanted to try to get themselves into that top 4 type of position after this game, but because they caught the draw, they will stay bottom 4. Moby in particular was thinking to himself, well, I went up against the best last time, but will really be feeling hard done by that. He can't join Divaka in the top echelons. He will be staying bottom tier. And unfortunately, this also means that Bobo, the young man though, he did play really, really well, but unable to rise up to the same level as Young Savage, for example. So of both youth and experience find themselves very unhappy with what the standings look like after today's game.
Well, that's the standings. That's the match for today. It is still the Umzansi Esports League Season 3 brought to you by Northern Gaming. You've just had an amazing view of the FIFA tournament between Mobizilla and a Bobo Beast. At this point in time, I'm going to say a big thank you to my guys, Snare and Tendo Plays, as they've done an amazing job with the games for today. We'll be right back with more action in the Umzansi Esports League after this break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Umzansi Esports League Season 3, brought to you by Nordwin Gaming. This is day 8, and we are here in the PUBG Mobile segment, and I'm not here alone. I'm here with two amazing people. We've been having so much fun, Patchy and Esport, and we are going to be giving you some amazing action today, guys. It is PUBG Mobile. We are ready for some action. But before we dive into it, let's take a quick look at the standings of the PUBG Mobile tournament as they stand.
All right, yeah, let's kick it off. G3 Temper sitting at the top spot. 166 points is the score to beat if you want to move yourself up that leaderboard to the top slot. Of course, Gamers United Nation going to be found on that second position in 144 points. Zero Tolerance Skills in third position, 135. So those are your top three right there. And then, of course, following along, we've got Influence Rage Africa sitting on 119 points in fourth. Slime4KT with 115 in fifth. Immortalz in 113 in sixth position. Aphelion Apex, 111 in seventh. And Undisputed AE in eighth with 107. So yeah, these teams looking pretty strong. A lot of them heavy hitters, but a lot of them I think were also playing yesterday. So we're going to give a chance today for a lot of these teams to move on up that leaderboard.
Yeah, and I mean, you got teams like BBC, you know, Not Gaming, Rainbow Six, Madagascar, and Spaza 6 who were playing yesterday in yesterday's groups. But now the other teams, as you mentioned, exact opposite teams, the groups that haven't played C and D, will be heading off today, and they'll have a chance to move out the leaderboard and potentially kick a few people out of the placements. And you know, this is still the last page of safety notes. You know, we were talking about it. This is still where you're right. You know, you've made it into your top 24. You can still move on to the semifinals. You can still get there potentially, but it's close. It's getting really close, especially if we move on to the last page, which is the page of teams that will be looking at disqualification if they don't get more points. So as you can see, I mean, on our 24th spot, we had 54 points, right? What are we looking at 25? 51, 51, 51, 22, 20, 12. So it's extremely close. I mean, a couple of good games here and there, especially, you know, from the likes of Sidizens Gaming, as I know Sid is waiting
Yes,
hoping.
I was going to say that.
They definitely have a chance, and there's no way that as long as they at least get, 5 points, they will definitely have secured themselves a spot up there. But you don't want to just settle for, making it safe. You want to get as many as you can, because as we see, the other teams now have to sit and watch this, right? They don't have an opportunity to do this. And how do you do that? You do it by focusing on your placements and focusing on your kill points. We said this time and time again. You're not in the realm where placements are just enough. You're not in the realm where kill points are even just enough at this point, unless you want to get, 15 kills per game. I mean, maybe it's your gun or your temper potentially, but either way, you need to be good at both. You need to be so solid in both areas, which are fundamentals of this game. So it's a tough challenge, but the teams have an opportunity today. They've got 3 maps to do it, so they better get ready.
And let's take a look at the prize pool to remind our players what they're playing for. Season 3's prize pool is a whopping $17,500 with $2,500 going to FIFA 21 and a $15,000 going to PUBG Mobile. So the players know and the teams know there is a lot at stake today. They need to bring their A game. For a lot of teams in this match, they have at least 4 more games to really bring their A game and move up that leaderboard. Otherwise, it's bye-bye, because only the top 24 teams will make it through to the next round. Now, taking a look at the teams of Group C and Group D who will be playing today, we have Gamers United Nations, Lag Esports, the Comfy Cartel, Pain Africa from Somalia, Drogons, Nibble Esports, Natural Killers, and Toxic Esports rounding up Group C, teams that all need to put in a good performance today.
Yeah, and Group D isn't much different, eh? Group D also has a few teams that really need to be showing up today.
Yeah,
especially Citizens Gaming. Just throwing it out there. Citizens Gaming, if you're listening right now, I don't want you to come home. Put in a good performance, please. We have Sincerity, NFxUNIQUE, Young Thundercats, Slime4KT, Euphoric Gods, Outsiders Official, Rain from Hell, and of course, Citizens Gaming. Fingers crossed they bring it today. These are the teams that are going to be competing today. Is Group D versus Group C in the Umzansi Esports League Season 3, brought to you by Northern Gaming. At this point, I always need to remind everyone that if you are not following Northern Gaming on all our socials, you need to do so now, because as you can see, the season is hotting up and you do not want to miss any information. Unless you're in Nigeria, you can follow us on everything but Twitter for the moment.
Oh no.
I'm literally sorry I had to throw that in there.
It's a tragedy.
But it is a tragedy. But we are going to be having so much fun today as a team. Ready? I had the plane is loading up. It's takeoff time. The pilot is about to fly over our first map, which is Erangel. And this map has shown that teams can rack up points in terms of kills with the perfect strategy of being aggressive. Patchy, as we always say, the teams need to go out and get it done as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If you create space in the beginning of the game, then you have so much to work with in the end of the game. You know, it's actually something that we've been talking about for quite some time. And I really think that that has to be the next stage in the evolution of the gameplay. I mean, if you can get stuff done in the beginning, if you're able to, I mean, even if you take out one team in the general vicinity, right? You drop down, you see, look, there's a team over there, you know, in the compound just to the side of us. And you make that decision to say, let's go and bother them, right? Let's just go and bother them and see what we can do. And you push them. You might just find them unprepared. Maybe you find them like split up. You can drive a wedge between them. You can push them. You can take them out. There's so much possibility. And even if you're able to pick up a kill or two, that's still worth it. You know, that's still going to make things easier as the game sort of moves forward. Because what we see so many times is that teams stay a little bit safe, a little bit static in the beginning of the game. They get themselves ready, they get the loot, and they get kitted up. And then only they decide to get in the fights. We see the fights when the rotations come through. We see a little bit of gatekeeping here and there. And then we really start to see the fights break out once the zone gets small enough that they really are forced to fight, right? And that's fine. That's all well and good. And I think the team have actually gotten into a really good position where they're quite good at doing what they do. But I really think that there's no way that you reach the peak and you're like, okay, and now we're the best. You know, you have to keep working. It's like, okay, next step is the beginning of the game. Let's see if we can optimize that. Can we do things quickly? Can we, you know, how quickly can we actually get the fight started? How quickly can we get the points on the board? You know, how quickly can we actually do something crazy while still playing relatively safe?
You know, in some other game titles, you know, some people will be so thirsty, they probably try to take people out in the air as you're flying out of the plane. You want to go for a hot drop, take as many teams out as possible in the beginning, so you thin the herd right from the start. And speaking of starts, we are flying right now. I see some teams already flying and taking positions, so I will leave you in the very capable hands of Esport and Patchy as they take you through all the action. It's the PUBG Mobile Tournament of the Umzansi Esports League Season 3, brought to you by Northern Gaming.
Woo! All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Sid. Now, we're going to be heading into, as he so graciously mentioned, we're going to be setting into that Erangel map as we all know and love. The good old map number 1 for our series here so far in this season. Flight path, of course, is going to be starting up towards Stalbert, moving all the way down to the Sosnovka military island, and I don't suspect that we might see any teams dropping down there, but yeah, otherwise, pretty decent access to most of the map. We're going to see the teams jump into the spots that they like. I'm really hoping that we see... Oh man, actually, with this zone, I'm going to restate this. I'm really hoping that we see some teams take the initiative and just go looking for a couple of kills, or just go look to leverage somewhere on the map. You know, I mean, this is what we were seeing from G3 Tempa over the last few weeks. They're really good at finding a spot on the map that they know they can leverage. So even though they may not be fighting immediately, like hot drops style, they do try and look for the engagements relatively early on, and it does help them. And the proof is in the pudding. I mean, we are looking at a G3 that can consistently pick up so many kills. I mean, by the end of the game, even if they're not in that chicken dinner spot, they always have at least double-digit kills, and that absolutely helps them in so many ways. Now, of course, we are actually having a couple of battles there. We saw 4KT putting a couple shots in towards Toxic, and actually it looks like they're just trying to absolutely nail that coffin shut. So it does appear that is so yeah, that has happened. So Toxic now on the run, of course, trying to get the hell out of there, make sure that they don't get completely wiped out just yet. So they have managed to survive for the time being, but that's some really good initiative coming out of 4KT.
Yeah, I'm liking that we're starting with 16 teams as well. It's been a while, so
Yeah.
we've got a full stack. We've got most of the teams, ready and waiting. I did see a little bit of AFK there from potential team. I won't throw you out under the bus there. Don't worry. But most of the teams, they're starting within the zone. Really, I mean, you saw it as the teams were dropping, and a lot of teams, even though the teams closest to military base or to the west side of the map, they're moving closer and closer. They dropped late, but they flew into the zone. So everyone is in the center, and everyone is so close. You can see even right now, Fun is just around the corner, and they would be very happy to take a couple of early kills. Potentially just start out this game nicely, but they'll have to go through Nibble Esports to do that. So, I mean, looking at it now, we say this time and time again. You have to be good at both. You have to be good at both. It's not good enough just to do placements. It's not good enough just to go absolutely ham with the kill points. Although Temper did that last night, but they also got really fantastic placement points. I think most of the times they were in top 5, top 10 at least, and then they would have had double-digit kills. That more than enough makes up for getting a winner chicken dinner. So it works out so beautifully if you can manage that, but it really puts a team to the test. It really puts you up against that sort of caliber and sees how if you sink or you swim. I do enjoy Narangle. I feel like Narangle is one of the most balanced maps that we've got, in the pool. It's not ridiculously bad in terms of overall cover. It's not ridiculously bad in terms of, you shoot once and you've got 5 parties around you. So it's a nice balanced map, and I think, the space really works to most of the team's advantage. I do want to see, though, if there's going to be any change. Obviously, we saw Group A and Group B going head-to-head yesterday. Now it's C and D. The next team that we saw immediately afterwards, that day 2 reminder. So I'd like to see if there's any sort of wrenches in the works that are going to be popping up tonight. I mean, Toxic, they already fell victim there to 4KT, which is fantastic for 4KT because now they're running away with 2 kills already, and they're thinning the herd a little bit, making it easier for them later on.
Yeah. I mean, if you damage, a team by taking out 1 or even 2 of their players, then you're basically putting them on, oh hell, we need to run away mode for the rest of the game, which is fine because that means they're not going to be coming after you. So that's just one less team to worry about immediately, So that's already a huge step up, even if you can't squad wipe them. So definitely super beneficial. And what you were saying about Erangel, it is very much one of those maps that is nicely balanced, but on top of that, I actually think that unlike, for instance, Miramar or Sanhok, this map also lends itself really nicely to being able to use the early game, because in Sanhok, like
Absolutely.
you said, you shoot and 5 teams are on you. In Miramar,
5, 4, 3, 2.
yeah, exactly. And in Miramar, it's like you walk outside and you might just get shot cross map by a guy with a mini 14 on a hill on the other side of the map. It's possible.
Yeah.
In this, the way the terrain is, that's not going to happen. There's trees, there's mountains, there's buildings, there's lots of cover. So you're not going to get most likely cross-mapped here. So moving around early is a lot easier. Being able to use the early game for your advantage is a lot easier. And it opens up a lot of opportunity for that. Now, you don't necessarily have to use it to play and win this game. We've seen that, right? But like I said, I mean, I think there's sort of evolutionary stages that we have to get to where the teams sort of continue to improve their game and sort of augment the way they play to get better and better. I really do think it's going to be utilization of the early game. I mean, if you can do more early on, then you have to do less later. And I mean, one of the things that we see in global tournaments and whatnot is that very thing. I mean, a lot of activity, lots of things happening very consistently, across the board. And we are seeing a tendency towards that now. We are starting to see the teams do things like that now. It's not really on the level that we want to see, but it's getting there. The teams know that they have to do something. In fact, it's like if there's an opportunity to get something done, if there's an opportunity to get a leg up, let's take it. I like the word that Dr. Sid used is in other titles, like players are really thirsty for those kills, and that's actually what you need to be. You need to be thirsty for every opportunity that you could get the points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it is a different standing. You know, we obviously are referring to PC games as a mobile game, so the play difference also comes in. But I mean, it's not impossible at all. When you drop down, you get an Uzi or something, you just go hunting. Especially if you know that you've dropped with the team, and especially if you're fighting for that area, gives you a little bit of a confidence boost as well. If you actually win out that fight and you force a team to retreat from a position that they, you know, had their sights set on. So it helps in every single shape and form, and I would hope that a lot more teams, you know, pick this up. We do see a few teams, you know, not running with full members. One of them, obviously, as we can see now, is Nibble Esports. So it's a little bit of a trouble day. Unfortunately, you know, most teams had to register 5 players. So I'm gonna lay down the gauntlet. What's happening, guys? Where's everyone else? I want to see this, and you see this a lot actually. We've seen so many times where teams only have 3 members, only have, you know, X amount of members. I know in South Africa we have this thing called load shedding, so you know when the power goes out, the internet goes out as well. Then there's not much that you can do. But yeah, it's unfortunate because already some of those teams are at a back foot. They're at a disadvantage. They can't cover as much ground as majority of the other teams, like Lag, for example, that have all 4 of their players. They have all of the vehicles that they need to. They can, you know, gather more loot. They can cover more ground. They can cover more angles. It's just, it's a disadvantage that you don't want to be starting off with. But we'll see how they go. I would like to see a couple of these teams really make a stand today, especially, you know, the teams like Nibble Esports, like Pain Africa, who are sitting on that last page. You know, they not only just need to get past, you know, that, what we said, 54-point marker, they need to go even further than that. Because as soon as they're not the ones playing, they're going to get pushed out again. If they're just settling for, you know, just minimum effort. They need to go full force here. They don't have anything to lose at this point. So those are the teams that I really want to see taking the risks. Those are the teams that I want to see trying to make those early round in the loot phase, you know, while everyone's still trying to set up, make the plays. Surprise us. Surprise everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, Toxic, no.
Oh,
what is happening? It's 4KTs purely hunting Toxic.
That's what I like to see.
It's a team on team mayhem right now because this is the 3rd member from Toxic that has gone down to the exact same team of Slime 4KT. That is problematic. That means Toxic is down to 1 member who can potentially go for the res or potentially get taken out again by 4KT.
Well, I mean, to say the least, that's what I like to see. I mean, if you're gonna take an aggression against the team, get that going, and then pop yourself up and be like, hold on, we don't have to just let go. We can actually go in and take the kill because why not? We have legs. We can follow you. Let's go. You're running away. We'll just come right after you. It's fine. We'll just keep fighting. Let's go. I like that. That's a nice mentality to have. You like just keep hunting for those kills. Now, of course, right now we've got Comfy Cartel moving up. Sidizens maybe a chance for redemption here. We did see a couple of shots coming in their direction. Once the Comfy Cartel was at the top there, we do have Lag as well, putting some pressure on. So yeah, the intent to kill is there, and I like this because this is happening a little bit earlier than you usually see. I really hope that these teams find a foot in the door, because it's really sad to see like a team set up and then decide, you know what, we're not going to push it because we don't feel like there's ample opportunity, or like we don't feel like it's safe to do so. I really want to see the teams move in, so hopefully that situation does not happen. Of course, we do have 2 teams that are close in proximity here, just ahead of Sidizens, so there is a little bit of a problem for them if they want to move out. Gun, of course, also trying to engage here and there. We did see 4KT doing the same with Toxic, as we noticed. Hopefully we see a little bit more. I mean, I like this already. I mean, we're 2 zones deep and we're already seeing teams go at each other. I mean, look at this. We're already seeing teams position to take the assault. I love this. This is definitely picking up the pace in a huge way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm also seeing Nibble, I'm seeing Lag. They're all popping shots right now, getting some knocks. It's fantastic work. They just need to convert those shots into, you know, what we really want, which is those kill points. You need to finish it off. You need to finish the job. And for some of these angles, it's a really tough time. You can see this Lag. He's just looking for it. Just give me something. Just peek out of the corner so I can take your face off. But yeah, for most of these teams, I'm liking it. I was a little bit worried. You know, Lag looked pretty hesitant to actually take this engagement. It is a risky one, as we saw on the minimap. I mean, they're not only a citizen sandwich right now between 2 teams, but Lag as well. You see, they're busy fighting too. Gun is also looking to, you know, join the party. Everyone is so close in proximity to each other that yes, it's a risk, but it could be paying off in absolutely great rewards. Hopefully it continues, but for now, everyone's just sussing each other out, getting an idea of what's happening here, where's the positions at, you know, what are the guns at. And yeah, it's nice to see these teams again, you know, have them an opportunity to actually put some points down themselves, you know, not just watch their opponents do it. So I think a lot of these teams really want to make a statement. Gun being one of the closest to taking that first spot on the leaderboard, right? They're only, what, 20 points away from taking it away from Temper. So they're one of the closest teams, but there's so many teams that are so close to doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, luckily for Gun, there's not that many playing in this group right now. I think 4KT is one of them, but you can see 4KT is so hungry for those kills. Like, I really hope that they get some more, because if we see them doing that, then it's really going to be a battle between 4KT and Gun to try and take the top spot away from Temper. And that's actually really interesting to think about. So it really is a battle for these teams. And it's not just a battle of these groups in this group. You know, it has evolved to the point where these groups are battling each other across groups, like horizontally across groups. Because Temper's not playing in this game. G3 isn't here, but they're still being battled against by Gun and 4KT, who are trying to take that spot. So if they can put the points on the board, they might just start challenging, you know, G3. So definitely there's some interesting stuff going on right now. All of these teams know they need to put the points in. They know they need to get aggressive. They know they need to utilize early game. And they've definitely been a lot more active than we usually see coming out. And that is amazing. It's absolutely incredible to see. Of course, now we're seeing Gun put the hits in and try and take down Sincerity, who have found themselves on the unlucky end of some bullets coming out of them. Gun putting the shots in and absolutely tearing through the team. The natural killers are also in the target, so these guys are not safe. Nobody's safe. Everyone is just putting the, you know, the absolute pain in, but it's really Gun and 4KT here that are trying to go the extra mile and just pick up as many kills as possible, and that's great. I mean, we're in the third zone now, moving, you know, towards the mid game, and this is usually moving into the stage where we start to see stuff happen. It's only after the zone that we usually see stuff start to happen in earnest, but already, you know, from zone 2 onwards, we have started to see these teams fight, which is really, really great.
Yeah, these groups definitely seem a lot more active than what we were seeing last night. Last night was very cool, calm and collected, very passive, and then just chaos towards the end. This is, you know, a nice consistent pacing, which is what I like to see, because that means that, you know, in the later end, ooh, Embot, you gotta be careful. Those shots hurt. In the later stages, we might see a little bit more of an equal standing. I mean, we had such one-sided W's last night, right? The team that won was the team that had every single player alive, and they were completely healthy because they rotated in early, waited for all the chaos to go down, waited for everyone else to kill each other, and then they only made their move. And that actually ended up, you know, meaning that the teams that were actually taking the chicken dinners weren't the teams at the top of the leaderboard by the end of the night, because the other teams that were actively trying to look for these kills, like Gun, like 4KT, they're the ones that came out top, especially if they go past that top 10 marker, top 5 marker, then they get both. They get that sweet spot, which is what we keep talking about. And I mean, I'm happy with Gun also just they're ready for anyone, as you said. I mean, they were taking a couple of shots there at Lag, I think, and then they went to Natural Killers. Sincerity was under trouble as well. Everyone is just in their sights, and that's how it should be. Should be looking for any possible angle that you can take here.
Oh, I like this actually. This rotation coming out from Gun, they like, you know what? It's fine. We're gonna go through the blue zone, through 4 levels of the blue zone, mind you, just to escape the pressure from another team. They were like, yeah, we're not gonna take that fight. We're just gonna get out of here. Hopefully, they use that as an opportunity to reposition and maybe catch some teams off guard and get some free kills. Hopefully, we'll see that come through. 4KT, of course, doing what they do, trying to put a couple of shots in of their own and pick up some more of those kills that they've been looking for all game along. Some return fire coming in their direction as well, but they are positioned inside the zone, so they can actually sit there where they are and just do a little bit of gatekeeping, a little bit of surrounding fire for them. Sincerity getting absolutely hammered there. They're not feeling too good about this game. They need to recoup and warm up again and come back into the next map a little bit stronger. The Natural Killers also on the bad end of a couple of engagements there. So a lot of teams struggling, but a lot of teams also picking up some kills here. So this is some nice activity to see consistently here on the map. This is Sincerity, of course, hiding behind the bridge, or below the bridge, should I say, taking up a little bit of a sneaky. But yeah, I mean, what else do you do? I mean, your team gets taken out. It's like, do I really want to? Do I really want to do this? I could just stay under this bridge and like, you know, charge people who decide to come across.
We scared of people, you know.
Yeah.
We avoid people.
We're not gonna play PUBG. We'll just play Bridge Troll Simulator.
Oh yeah, I like me some Bridge Troll Simulator. 4KT actually now getting a little bit of damage there, a little bit of pressure there from the young Thundercats. So I like what I'm seeing. I'm seeing so many teams in the kill field. It's not one-sided whatsoever. You know, we had Sincerity actually do a little bit of damage back, get some revenge. Then we had, you know, Euphoric Gods. They were pumping shots into every which way inside. We've had Nibble Esports in the kill feed that are also doing pretty well. So everyone is active, and I'm loving it. I'm so happy to see an active, you know, combo of groups. It's working out nicely. Some of the teams, unfortunately, not as happy as they would like to be. You can see here Natural Killers, they're down to 2 members. It's only Shroud and Nova that have to make everything happen here. And they've got some Thundercats to deal with before they can even think about it.
Yeah, it is a absolutely fun time here for a lot of these teams. You can see some serious pressure coming in from the young Thundercats. Natural Killers need to pop those smokes, make sure that they can potentially move out of the situation if it gets a little bit too bad. We've also got the Citizens right up here versus Nibble Esports, who have not really been performing the way we want to see them perform. And they have yet to really join the party in terms of that. You know, they're sitting all the way at the bottom of the leaderboard currently. Really need to find some points to get themselves out of it. The Natural Killers have decided to pull the trigger here, putting some pressure in towards the young Thundercats up in this Wizard Tower. We'll see if Shroud can make it happen. Up comes the nade. Is he going to land that one? Almost looks, I think it went in. That could be pretty big if that one did go in. There it is. The explosion comes through. Young Thundercats still alive, though, managing to keep themselves alive for the moment, but the nades are still coming. Shroud putting the pressure on, making sure that the bottom floor is clear. Up comes the molly. Young Thundercats now need to make something happen. Up they come, putting the shots, but it is Shroud who comes in. Samus goes down, and well, the Natural Killers now have the upper hand, putting those shots in with the help of the team. Natural Killers just putting the pressure on and trying to get themselves free, especially now that the zone has moved in and is going to start moving up. From now on. Up comes Illusion, putting in some more mollies of his own, but he's in a really, really tough spot. If he gets out of this Wizard Tower, I will be super, super surprised, because the Natural Killers are absolutely looking to shut him down. That blue zone is on its way, though. They have to be super careful about this. Shots coming through all over the show as well. Everyone is on the rotate, trying to get themselves across that line as the blue zone comes in. Here come the shots. Citizens taking a fight now as well against Lag. It looks like they are not finding a success here. Dr. Sid not going to be too happy about that. But it is Gun, of course, continuing to be a strong presence here on the map. Not a lot of cover, but at least a few dips in the terrain to work with, as all the teams have started to make their way into that zone. We've got 12 teams, 35 players left alive here. Still a considerable amount as the Comfy Cartel gets hammered along with Nibble Esports there in the kill feed.
You know, Drogons also then joining the party, taking out what's remaining there of Nibble Esports, potentially close to the finisher for Nibble. Gun as well. I mean, I've just been seeing Gun and 4KT in the kill feed, and now they've finally found each other. So this is unfortunate for them, but Gun is going to be coming out on top. They're looking happy and healthy. Got 5 team kills so far, and we are almost at that top 10 placements. Cartel as well, they're still in the fight here. Now they have to continue it. I mean, oh, this is a difficult one. So looking at now Plaza here, he can see both of these teams just looking at each other, trying to fight big fights. As soon as one gets over the other, they can capitalize over that. The call can come through. We're at top 10 now. We've got extra kills, and now we've got potential new ones right in front of us. They're taking so much damage. We can just wait and sort it out when we are, you know, ready for it. And just behind them, it's Drogons and Natural Killers. They're going to be rolling up on everyone right now, especially, I think there's only one member remaining there from Natural Killers, if I'm not mistaken. It's only Shroud. So he has to play the solo game. He has to be quiet. He can't be spotted. Shroud has to just wait and bide his time. So they potentially make a play here. All those nades coming through, and ooh, that's not good. Outside is unfortunately falling victim there to a couple of things, to the zone, to some explosions. It's just not a good time for outsiders right now.
Yeah, it's a tough time for a lot of these teams here. NFxUNIQUE have managed to make their way up, but of course they still have the comfy Cartel up ahead of them to deal with. And then Gun is also moving into the general area, so that's going to be a tough one. Of course, we do have the outsiders getting taken out here and there. The Drogons, of course, putting those shots in and really making it tough for the rotate. But up they come. Cartel getting hammered here as NFxUNIQUE just put the pressure on. They're like, yeah, this compound, we're going to come through it, and we're going to go through you as well. Tigris now very low on HP, trying to find the shots, does land a couple of them, but this is do or die moment, and I mean, there is very little choice here to do. Keisha, of course, comes up, takes the shot in, immediately turns around, hits the deck. They're just a gun game at the moment. Up comes True, though. He will find those shots and continue to keep the comfy Cartel alive for the time being. Goes for the thirst as well. And, just like that, the comfy Cartel is still alive, and NFxUNIQUE to decide whether they want to continue to push that. Of course, LMG on Zist is going to mean that they can play around the smoke just a little bit, put a little bit of shots in, but actually going to get third party. Not too sure what he was thinking about that one, just running across the open road with no cover. Definitely going to get you sent straight to Pound Town. Pounds, speaking of, is going to be putting the shots in as well. So we have been reduced to 7 teams and 16 players at the moment as everyone's trying to get into this zone. But it's absolutely tough for a lot of these teams that don't have cover. They are just getting hammered as they try and make their rotates.
Yeah, absolutely. And the issue is everyone's just taking a piece of everyone else, right? Gun, especially, they've been in so good to get those third parties to just pick off fights wherever they can. Pain made a fantastic rotation there, and I think actually, you know, the rotation came through across the road to try and get some consumables here because everyone's taking so much damage. And I think Cartel have just been taken out as well by so many parties. I can't even count how many were shooting at them. They had so many crosshairs placed on their faces, and now Drogons still fully alive. That rare should pop through, hopefully. Oh, yep, it's through. They are going to be still all right with 4 members remaining. Looking at it now, Pain looking to have 2. And Gun, they are sitting there with 3. So, looking at the math here, we might be seeing a little bit of an unfair advantage going in favor of the Drogons, but with their positioning as well, they can just sit and wait and watch down as all the teams look for each other. That zone actually favoring Gun now. So rotation is going to be coming through early for Gun, and Pain Africa are ready and waiting for it, finding one and looking for so much more, getting some revenge there into Gun. Top 4, here we are, and Pain just watching everything go down at the moment. It's a little bit of a trouble time here. Aimbot and Nerf Me, the only members remaining for Gun, who have to try and fight on both ends. Hopefully that rest can come through and they'll be back to 3, but the question remains, I don't know what Shroud's going to do in the situation, right? If he pushes out, he's going to be either running into Drogons or he's going to be running into Gun. And if they know exactly where he's at, which with the smokes might be the case, then that might be all that she wrote here. Oh, but Shroud, how is he finding so many people? He's single-handedly nearly taken out the entirety of Drogons at the moment. We're down to top 3.
Yeah, that was super quick, and now Gun, of course, under fire. They're in a little bit of trouble as, of course, Pain Africa have decided to move up into the zone. They have absolute control of it as well. Now, of course, with that last shot into the Drogons, they have been taken off the board. It's Pain versus Gun. Who is going to be the victor of map number 1 is the question. We're about to find out. These two teams about to just absolutely hammer one another from across the road. It's a cross-road fight right here. Pain on the one side, Gun on the other side. The nades are flying. The guns are being prepped. The question is Pain going to be able to take this one? I think it's a 2v3. Yeah, it's a 2v3. Pain have the numbers advantage, but I mean, we're looking at Nerf Me, who has absolutely come to play in the past. He has pulled some incredible stuff out the hat before. Maybe he'll be able to do it again. We're just going to have to wait and see. They're taking their time, making sure they don't expose themselves, looking for something to give them that go signal. Perhaps if they find Kingman behind that tree, if they spot him out, maybe they could pull the trigger somewhere. There's a lot of smokes trying to obscure that vision. The zone is, of course, right on the heels. But for the time being, both of these teams are still safe. It might be Gun that do have to end up pushing over, though, if the blue zone decides to favor them. Of course, at the mercy of the blue zone is going to be the name of the game. Now we just have to wait and see who is going to fall victim first. The nades still flying back and forth, trying to get a little bit of damage in. But everyone's still full HP. Everyone's still ready to take the fight. And Gun not willing just yet to make anything happen. Oh, that's a good place grenade, finally finding its target there, coming out of pain. Pounds now a little bit low on HP, has to immediately juice up and get ready. I mean, oh, that artillery level of nading from Pain Africa is absolutely causing Pounds to have a really bad day right now. Nerf actually separating himself as far as possible. That's actually a really good strategy against grenades, is to separate yourself as far as possible from your teammate. Make sure both of you can't get taken out at the same time. Here come the shots. That's Nerf me putting them in. That's what he's known for. He likes to put the shots in. Up comes Pounds, but he gets taken down. But that's going to provide a little bit of time for Nerf to reposition, put the shots in, but it's not going to happen. It was a pipe dream. And of course, it's going to be Pain Africa to take your chicken dinner for the first match here today on Erangel.
Yeah, first map, so they're going to be taking that 15 placement points with 3 kills on Kingman and 2 on Beast, a total of 5. So, I mean, they're looking at 20 points easily, but I want to draw your attention to Gun, right? They came in second place, so they've got those placement points locked in. And look at the amount of kills. They've got 10 kills because they were just taking a piece of everyone there. So they're going to be quite happy with that. Drogons as well did fantastically, finishing off there with 9 kills. And the rest, well, top 3 going to take as many points as they would like to, because not only are they doing fantastically in terms of placements, those kill points really came in. And that's because we've had such an active group. Weirdly enough, you know, 4KT, they were one of the teams I kept seeing in the kill feed. They kept knocking everyone. If we had a damage counter, I'm sure 4KT would be off the charts, but they couldn't convert that into kills. We finished off with 3 kills for 4KT, but I swear I saw them every third kill that they knocked someone, but it didn't translate. So it's unfortunate. They had the right idea. It's just that last point of second, that last potential bullet kept them away from it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at. I'm just sad. I just saw Citizens in 13th position with 1 kill. This is hard. This is hard. It's hard to do. It really is. But ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the updated standings for after the match of today, the first match for today.
Yeah, there it is. Gun is going to take first place despite not having the chicken dinner, and that is the power of kills right there. It is 22 points for Gun, because they have got 10 kills plus those 12 placements. Whereas Pain, they did get the 15 placements from the chicken, but only 5 kills is going to mean they're on 20 points, which means they will take position number 2 on that leaderboard. Of course, the Drogons coming in 3rd, Natural Killers in 4th, NFxUNIQUE coming in that 5th spot. Cartel in 6th, Nibble in 7th, Slime 4KT not finding themselves where they want to be, so down in 8th position. So yeah, it's just like you said, they found those 3 kills pretty much all from Toxic, I think it was, and after that, nothing. I just weren't able to convert anything whatsoever. Of course, Toxic, the first team to get taken out, so they're going to be right at the bottom of that one, number 16. And Citizens Gaming will also take 15th position there because they only got 1 kill, no placements. Outside is going to be in 14th, Sincerity in 13th, Young Thundercats in 12, Euphoric Gods in 11, Lag in 10, Rain from Hell sitting up in the 9th spot there. But yeah, it's definitely not the performance that a lot of these teams were looking for, especially since there needs to be a lot of traversing of that leaderboard, that overall leaderboard. 4KT, of course, they're one of those teams that definitely wants to move their way on up. So they're going to have to work on that. But there it is, Natural Killers, going to be the MVP slot for this match. It's Shroud, and of course, that's understandable. I mean, Shroud was 100%. Definitely putting in that work for the Natural Killers there. Even though they didn't really find what they were looking for 100%, they still got some really good kills in the bag there. And yeah.
His team better be hyping him up right now. He was the super solo for them.
He did amazing job. Shroud, if you're looking to jump ship, holla at your boy. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thinking of jumping ship, we will be jumping into a break right now in the Umzansi Esports League PUBG Mobile Tournament Season 3, brought to you by Dublin Gamings. We will be right back after this game. Dr. Sid, Patchy, and Esport. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Umzansi Esports League Season 3 PUBG Mobile Tournament brought to you by Nodwing Gaming. My name is Dr. Sid here with Esproxy and Patchy, and we just witnessed Game 1 in the PUBG Mobile Tournament. The leaderboards are looking crazy for today. Teams have stepped up, some teams have not. But we're super excited that we're going to see some action in the next map, which is definitely one of my favorites, Sandhawk, which brings a lot of close quarter combat. I really don't want to see the leaderboard again, but yeah, Patchy, please talk us through what's happening.
Sid giving certain teams the death stare through the internet. It is G3 Tampa sitting in that #1 spot, of course, with 166, but here comes Gun. They are very close. 163 in second place. 3 kills at any point in time over the next 2 games is going to get them equal to G3. And of course, we do expect Gun to do a little bit better than that. So we might just be seeing Gun move up into that top spot. Of course, we won't know for how long. Of course, G3 is going to want to take that back eventually. But that's definitely what it's on the cards for today. I mean, by the end of this evening's games, Gun could have taken that top spot on the overall leaderboard. And of course, Zero Tolerance Skills there, 3rd place, 135. So not quite on the same, competitive level there in terms of, the next few games they could be looking at, moving up. So ZTS, they gotta put some work in to try and bring themselves up. And if any team in this group is going to do that, it has to be 4KT. They also want to be doing that because sitting on 119 points with Influence Rage right below them, they need to put some points on the board to move up. Otherwise, they're going to be sliding down and being replaced.
You know what? I really don't think the teams in the top 8 need to do anything. Let's take a look at the next page.
Yeah. This page right
now,
here.
These are the guys that need to do something. Everybody in the top half is sitting nice. Let's talk about these guys. They need to do something.
They need to do something? I don't know.
Can you hear the pain in my voice?
Well, this page right here is still okay for the time being. I mean, they're still
safe.
in the upper half. They're fine. They're top second page of the leaderboard. That's fine. All the way down to Euphoric Gods, even top 24 still safe. But this team, this page right here is actually the one we really want to focus on. The Young Thundercats, of course, sitting in that 24th position is going to mean that they need to put some points on the board if they want to secure themselves here. And the Comfy Cartel, yeah, of course. I mean, we're sitting 64 points for Young Thundercats and 67 for the Comfy Cartel, which means a couple of kills here and there, a couple of placements is going to be the difference between if they stay down here or if they start to move up. I mean, because the top of this page is Drogons at 73.
And I want to say something. Look at Pain Africa. One winner chicken dinner took them out of the bottom page and into 19th position. That's how powerful those 15 points can be. And you don't want to take them for granted. You know what I'm saying? But look at this particular page, the page that is just showing that some people need to up their level and show that they deserve to be in the Umzansi Esports League, competing against the best of the best. Because if you're on this page, you are not making it to the next round, guys. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm expecting these teams who are playing today on this page to step up and show the world what they are made of.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's one of the saddest things for me is actually seeing Nibble not really making it out of that zone just yet. We saw some really great things from them previously. They did some good work in the previous season, and I just haven't been able to find their footing here. And I mean, that's the same for a lot of the teams in that last page there. So
they've been nibbling down there for a while. They've been nibbling down there for a while. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. So listen, I heard the teams are ready, pilots almost in the air, the jets getting fueled, parachutes are being checked. Everybody's looking to see, are we going to go aggressive? Sandhawk doesn't give you much of a choice, but as we do know, most of our teams like to play it safe, get looted up, make sure they have enough equipment to take on these battles. Just once, I hope somebody would just see a team and go exactly where they're landing, and let's see some fights right out of the plane and get some hot action, because that's what this is about. It is the Umzansi Esports League PUBG Mobile Tournament brought to you by Northern Gaming, and we are here for action. We bring you the best in esports across the African continent. Now, as Marie, we've seen some teams show class and show consistency on the Sandhawk map. In these two groups, which one of these teams do you think is going to be bringing their A game and definitely going for that winner chicken dinner?
Look, Gun is obviously the first team that springs to everyone's mind, right? And the second to that is 4KT. And I mean, they did really well on Wrangle. They were just as active as Gun was. They were just as many times in the kill feeds as what I saw Gun. But they couldn't finish off the kills. They weren't in positions to either get that last bullet in, or the teams were just in a better position to get some cover, get the reses through. So they have a little bit more to prove this time around, because they are in top 8. But I remind you, you know, Gun just got 22 points. They went straight from second all the way to first. So they can do it, you know, everyone else can be like, okay, well, we're going to try and do it. And now we're on Sandhawk, we've got the capability to do so. So let's show Africa what we can do.
Well, this is the time when I show Africa that you guys are the best at what you do by showing them the play-by-play action. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Patchy and Esprog. See you after the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We are flying over Sandhawk and dropping down. Please pull your parachutes, get your guns ready, and, well, let's get some mayhem going. The flight path taking us from that northwestern side of the Sandhawk map all the way down to the southeast. All the teams going to be dropping down into the areas that they like, and of course, with this map being so small, you should be able to get pretty much wherever you need to be. The question is where that zone going to go, and there it is down to the south again. I think this is the second time in a row that we've seen it happen. I think we had this yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Or, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. We had exactly this. So it's happened once again, and a lot of the teams this time around aren't actually in that zone. You know, we've got Natural Killers, we've got Lag, we've got Young Thundercats and Drogons. They're all on the outskirts. They're all taking their time to loot. So they're going to be safe for now. They're not going to be finding anyone just yet, but potentially there might be a little bit of action on the inside. Maybe 4KT are going to go look for Toxic again. Who knows? I did enjoy that from 4KT, but like you said, that was the only 3 kills that they got. And for a lot of the other teams, they fell short. I did feel that Nibble had a better sort of presence this time around. And I mean, Pain Africa, they secured themselves so beautifully. But for teams like, you know, Serenity, like Toxic, like a lot of these teams that really fell victim to unfortunate circumstances, you know, having teams just take them on left, right, and center, and the Company Cartel, I think they were in the middle of like 4 or 5 teams at some point, and they were doing well at some stage, you know, to hold on. They really, you know, upped their numbers. They're in that top 16. They're sitting pretty, but they just fell so victim to such unfortunate circumstances here. And as I was talking about the Company Cartel, it looks like Lala has potentially heard or spotted someone here. Just looking to see where they're at. Where are they hiding? Potential is here. So I like this. I like that, you know, we're seeing a little bit of potential early upsets. It's quite interesting to see how, you know, we were so active on Wrangle, and now Sandhawk, the map that is literally known for craziness, for chaos, is quite quiet. It's
yeah. Well, I mean, it is a tough one on this map. This is a map where I really think that it would be interesting to see how the teams actually move forward in terms of progressing on their comprehension of this map, because we know, like you said, it's a bit of a chaotic map. It pushes teams to fight a lot quicker, but one of the things that we sort of identified earlier on in the season was that the teams were really good at being able to slow the early game down and utilize it to, you know, loot up, get the kit, make sure everything's good to go before they actually start to take those fights. What I want to see is potentially the implementation of what we were talking about previously, where you utilize the early game for a lot more. I'd like to see that here, because that would be a very interesting implementation. It would be a lot different to any of the other maps in that it might just be hyperscaled. So we're talking teams just getting in like immediately. We're talking hot drops. We're talking, you know, go for a fight. I mean, I'd love to have seen Lala just push up, you know, take some kills on NFxUNIQUE. Just pick that up, you know, go for it. Why not? I mean, at this point, it's you know, there's nothing you can really lose aside from, you know, oh sure, maybe we go out this game. That happens anyway. I mean, we've seen so many teams on this map time and time again getting taken out way earlier than we expect. I mean, we have seen G3 Temper, for instance, take 2 back-to-back chickens in like a Miramar and a Wrangle, and then just get absolutely walloped
Smacked.
in Sandhawk. We like going out literally bottom of the log. We've seen that before. And I mean, G3 Temper is not a team that you can trifle with. They're not a team that is bad by any means. I mean, their scores prove that. You know, these guys are not noobs by any stretch of the imagination, yet they will go out first on a Sandhawk potentially, right?
Yeah.
And that speaks a lot to the fact that a good team can still go out first in a map like this. They can be bottom of the log in a map like this. So, you know, it really does mean that you can push the biscuit a little bit. You could take the risk, you know, like go for it. Try something new, because there is a chance. There is always a really high chance that you could get caught out on this map. You could get taken out early. You could stumble. You could trip. Your mistakes could be punished, even worse than they are on any other map. So that should encourage teams to actually start to take risks instead. Say, all right, well, if we're going to be in a risky position anyway, may as well try and get something out of it, right? May as well try to get a reward out of that risk. So let's go for it, you know, because we're going to be in a bad spot anyway. We're going to be in a risky spot anyway. So we may as well try and get something out of it. And that's what I want to see. So, of course, now it is going to be Gun putting some hits in towards the Citizens, the poor Citizens who have tried to make something happen. Sid absolutely glaring at them through the internet. And now, of course, you know, they have so much to do. There's so much weighing on their shoulders at this point, and Gun has just come to try and ruin their day just a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see if that fight happens. I want to see it happen. I'd love to see Gun, for instance, just yeet into this compound and take some kills.
What I don't understand is 11 actually took, I think it was Pounds. He took Pounds out. But if we're looking at it now, 11's dead immediately. So what I'm thinking happened is 11 went, you know, by himself. He ran into Gun, gave the call to his team, and they were like, whoa, hold up a second. So though they got that knock, it's like 4KT. It's not translating to any points for them because it's not a kill. And instead, Gun just turned around. They were like, cool, we'll take 11 out. Thank you very much. On the other side, we're seeing quite a few shots actually happening there. And Outsiders, they put some shots into Cartel, and now they're getting turned upon by Sincerity. So once again, the third parties, the fourth parties, they're all happening. You can see Cartel, Outsiders, and Sincerity are all in the same fight. They're all shooting at each other. They're all looking to take each other out. So that's a little bit of a triangle that's happening some other parts of the map here. And on the other side, Gun, they're just left to their own devices to relax. But I agree with you what you said. I mean, Sandhawk is one of those maps where you could potentially, you know, take out one of your top teams. You can knock them down a pair. You can get some confidence for yourself. And most importantly, you can get some points for yourself, which is what they're all here to do. I think it's also one of the maps that we see such an equal distribution of kills. Like on a Wrangle, on Miramar, we have like, okay, maybe 1 or 2 teams that get double digits, and the rest are like sitting at 4, 5, 6. Except for that first Wrangle today, that Wrangle was beautifully balanced. But on Sandhawk, more oftentimes than not, we see such a perfect distribution of kills. You know, so many numbers repeating themselves, 4, 5, 6. We don't see one team in particular just going absolutely crazy unless you nerf me, who gets 13 kills by himself. But for the most part, everyone's got an opportunity. So Sandhawk is the map that I want to see teams and players really just... well, okay, I feel like we've been saying this all the time. We just want to see them, you know, fight each other. We just want violence. That's all we want. Because we enjoy violence as casters. We enjoy it.
Yeah, it's baked into our DNA.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's boom boom and pew pew. It's good stuff. We like it.
Yeah, we do. We like it, and we want to see a little bit more of it. The Outsiders getting peppered just a little bit here from the comfy Cartel, who have them pretty much pinned down. So a little bit of a difficult situation there. Orisa hiding behind the tree, making sure to get those painkillers in, because the pain certainly will be coming, although maybe he's going to be the one dishing it out. We'll see. Just putting in a bit of covering fire before he starts to run off. We've got some of the Outsiders actually putting in some long distance there as well, looking to see if they can spot anyone else out. Comfy Cartel putting in the shots. True going to find them. Orisa goes down, and now the Outsiders find themselves in a tough spot here. Or specifically our man, Rrrr, who is, yeah, He's just here
He's
behind
alone.
this rock.
He's alone. He's
Yeah.
sandwiched perfectly between all the members of Cartel who know exactly where he's at. He's prone. Potentially might not be spotted just yet, just behind that rock. Oh, but gotta make a move at some point, right? Squeak does go down, a little bit of third partying, but outside is oh, I don't know how that man is still alive. No, he's out. Okay.
Yeah, no, the outside is
my
gone.
HUD was shouting at me. But yeah, outside is gonna be the first team to drop out. Squeak gonna get the res popped off and should be back in the action shortly. So the first team dropped. Oh, as we tune in, the second might be underway. Got a little bit of damage being dealt here. Oh, and 4KT are just looking to take out Unique here. Andrew gonna be the first to find Zist, and now just what, 2, 3 more left? Where are they at? We want to see him. We want to take him out.
Yeah, I mean, 4KT, they're, brushing up a little bit on the mistakes they made in the previous map, where they were getting the knocks and not finding the kills. Now they're just going in for it, going in for the kill, going for the throat, and up come the grenades. 4KT
Ooh.
taking them in towards Cage. Now FaZe's going to have to try and put the reses in, but 4KT quickly pushing up immediately. FaZe just no chance whatsoever. Goodbye, sir. 4KT picking up some more kills to add to their score, and that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see a little bit more of that. They're also inside the zone for the time being, so they're pretty much good to go on that front. So yeah, hopefully we'll see a couple more battles, and hopefully we'll see 4KT being able to close them out and actually close out those kills, because that's really what they need to get those points.
Yeah, we see Pain Africa here. They were actually one of the teams that took one of those kills away from 4KT. They stole one of those kills. Nice little shots through. They take it. 4KT finishes off an opponent, but they get an extra little point there. So nice little sneaky play by Pain Africa. They might be running into 4KT a little bit later on. But for the moment, I must say I want to give a shout out to Pain Africa, right? We've been saying they are in a tough spot. They were on the last page, they were looking at disqualification, and they've immediately found themselves a safety in that top 24. And now they're still looking to go even further, which is what we need teams to do. You know, we need teams that are on that last page that are just slipping through the safety net, that need to really just pump out the kills. They need to pump out the points. And maybe Citizens will do that. They've potentially spotted out Nibble Esports here. Steven Dog just looking at the ridges. They should be aware that someone's looking right at him. Someone's looking to take him out early on. And for Citizens, I mean, this is their shot at redemption. This is what they need. They desperately need to get these kills. Not only to, get themselves out of that danger zone of being the 13th to 16th team that will run away with no placement points, but also to get those kill points. They need everything. Yeah. And I can't stress that enough. Same can be said for Nibble. They're in a little bit of a safety zone again now, but they're still very close to dropping out.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the Citizens, Nibble just going to be rotating away for the time being, so not going to present themselves just yet. But yeah, the Citizens, they're in a bit of a tough spot because, like you said, sitting towards the bottom of that leaderboard. Oh, excuse me. Gee, don't know where that came from. Sitting towards the bottom of that leaderboard, it's a tough position to be in, especially when you're not being able to find a foot in the door. There's a lot of teams that are just absolutely playing out of their minds. Like, for instance, Gun, Nerf, G3, all these teams. It's so difficult to really find a foot in the door. And you really need to get out of there. For the time being, though, of course, we're going to see the shots are coming in from Hunter, who is trying to find some more kills for the team. With Comfy Cartel moving on up, and the shots in. Hunter does go down, though. Comfy Cartel will also receive some shots, so it's a little bit of a back and forth here. But can they manage to get those kills is the question.
I think that's the question that everyone's looking at. Euphoric Gods under a little bit of trouble. Hunter is down. Myth and Sinister, the last two remaining members, gonna have to try and stay alive. But the Comfy Cartel, they're looking to take them out. Nice little bit of return there from Myth, but there's an immediate reaction there from Squeak, who takes him right out of the challenge. Yes, it's only Sinister now that has to make everything happen here if they want Euphoric Gods to stay in this. Little potential res that can pop off, but now that Squeak's out, potentially there's a little bit of safety, and the Drogons have just rolled up on this fight. They're looking to get a piece of the action, maybe take a piece of Comfy Cartel, and Tigress is going to be going down, so we're looking at top 13 at the moment. Drogons, they've just saved Euphoric Gods there from potential elimination, but now, oh, how nice are they going to be? How nice is this the safety going to continue? Because, yeah, now that the Cartel is out, now it's your turn. Now Euphoric Gods are in the crosshair, and Myth and Sinister, they're going to decide to just, not join that fight. We're going to leave. And Pain Africa actually taking a couple fights there with 4KT. And so far, it's going in favor of Pain Africa. So now as these rotations start happening, everyone's trying to get out of the zone as soon as possible. We might actually be seeing quite an early shift in that leaderboard. Whoa, that would be interesting. Drogons, I mean, they did really fantastically in that last map. They made it to top 5, and then Shroud just decided to do Shroud things and take them out. So for them, this is also a little bit of redemption. They want to continue doing exactly what they did previously, but take it even further.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can make it happen. For the time being, 4KT in a little bit of trouble. Andrew getting taken down there as they are on the retreat, not willing to take the fight there with only one of their players still up. Or actually, no, two of their players. So that the last two are taken out. It's 2 players for 4KT to try and stay alive for the time being. And of course, we're still here in the 13-team range. So if you go out now, you're not getting any points, which is a little bit of a problem for a lot of these teams who really are trying to move their way up the leaderboard. I mean, 4KT,
yeah,
they're on that first page, and it would be nice to move up. I mean, they're fine, they're safe. So they don't actually have to worry. And that's the sort of position that I think would be nice to see a team start to take a little bit more risks to try and get those kills, just to see if they can make it up and actually challenge teams like G3 or Gun even, who are sitting right at the top of that leaderboard right now. Of course, we have to talk about Gun. Gun has to come into the conversation because they are looking for that first place. They're almost first place on the overall leaderboard here. They are 3 points away from evening things out, 4 points away from making that first place happen. And I mean, what are the chances that Gun will be able to pull off at least 4 points coming out of this game? I'd say pretty damn high. So we're expecting Gun to grab that top slot right now. Of course, Young Thundercats coming in, making 4KT's life very difficult. Up on the shots, gets the first knock, but playing behind that tree, gonna be Vex. He's making the Young Thundercats' life pretty difficult. Delusion now moving up super quickly, trying to find the angles. Not gonna over-aggress just yet, just looking to see if 4KT are gonna make something happen. Actually giving them time for the res as well, so maybe 4KT can get back up to 2 members and potentially put up a fight here, as the Illusion is actually the only one from the Young Thundercats in the general area.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the rest of his team's at, but he's just doing this one-man solo. So yeah, that rest popped off, so 4KT back up to 2, the only 2 that they can work with here, and they have to get rid of Illusion. He's putting on a lot of pressure. They are down in the reds, and they're not having a time to really reset. That zone is also coming through, so now they have to make the push. They're going to look to take him out. It's only Illusion here from the Young Thundercats, and he's going to be out for the count. So 4KT, they take the team kills up to 4. That's going to be nice, a little bit of a bonus. Get some consumables up and out. And as we tune into Lag and Citizens taking a fight. Citizens, though, on the bad end of it. Rick going down. And now it looks like Citizens only down to 3. They're down to 2 because 11 went out to Gun. So they're down to 2 members at the moment. Yes, they're in the zone, but they're still taking these fights. Lag.
Lag
I don't know how you're doing it.
Taking a fight with Citizens from
A long-range
zone,
fight.
still getting the damage in. That's funny, right? I mean, Lag is literally sitting in four layers of blue zone, fighting Citizens, and they're getting some knocks. Like, what is going on right now? What is happening?
Okay, looking at now, Citizens do have someone in the blue zone. What is happening, Lag? You can't do this.
There's no way.
There's
no way Lag wins this fight. There's no way Lag wins this fight. There's no ways.
Please. Potato, please bring me some logic here. You should be taking out 1, looking for more, but Lag have made the rotation. They've made the perfect flank. 1 member's actually in the zone. The rest, they're stuck in it. They're going to be out for the count. But Lag are just looking to finally put the last nail in the coffin for Citizens that have put them through this tournament. And Citizens, though, they make Mr. Sid so proud as they take out Lag. So that's 1 team to their kill count, but it's only going to be Potato, I think, that can make it out. He might get that res off. I think they're inside the zone. So 2 members left for Citizens, somehow making it work. I remind you, they were only 2 to begin with, so I don't know how, I don't know why, but they did it in the end.
Oh my soul. Just how ludicrous was that
Wait,
fight?
if they only took 2 kills, doesn't that mean the play zone took 2?
I mean, I don't know.
So all that damage for 2 kills.
Yeah, well, it is what it is at the moment. We've just witnessed a very interesting fight where Citizens did manage to get some victories for the time being. We've got Rain from Hell here, Madara, and the rest of the crew just keeping an eye on the young Thundercats that could potentially be moving up. We've got Gun sitting up here in the compound, making sure that they've got this one on lock. And for the time being, they do 4KT also just in the distance there. Just being there. So there's a little bit of pressure all across the board. Yeah, we out here, we're chilling. A little bit of damage being done to Gun, but nothing crazy just yet. Toxic, a little bit of damage in their direction as well as Sincerity. Nibble also hammering away at Toxic. So Nibble trying to pick up those kills, trying to find some points, but they're really going to have to find a whole bunch. And Citizens taking damage there. That's going to be a bit of a tough time for them. One player down is going to mean that they only have one left, I believe, unless they've been taken out. We've got 10 remaining teams, 35 players left alive here on the board as the zone starts to move in. We've got Sincerity moving up Rogue, who has done some really incredible things in the past, especially towards the end of the encouraging season where we saw them previously. So they have managed to bring themselves up in here and do some really good jobs. Sincerity hovering around on that leaderboard. We'll see if they can put some more points on the board here as that zone is coming on in. And just up ahead, we do have a team that they could maybe pick up some kills from. We'll see. Pain as well, trying to look for 4KT. 4KT very low on HP as well, so that's going to be a difficult time for them. We'll see who is going to come out on top of this one. Absolutely no idea, but everyone is vying for those points. Everyone is vying for those kills. They're just looking for the opportunity to present itself.
Top 10, here we are. Drogons, they've made it into it. They're still all 4 alive. Toxic taking a little bit of damage there from the play zone. Not going to be happy about that, but potential for the res, it's still there. Drogons now turning their heads. Hearing a lot of shots there to their left side. And hoping that some nades will connect and say, how you doing? Give us some kills here. Pain Africa still in this, still taking fights. And in the meantime, young Thundercats have found Gun. So everyone, including Rain, actually joined, and Natural Killers, everyone's just joining on this. Just everyone's taking whoever they can find at this point, and they can see everyone. Rain, unfortunately, though, not looking too healthy. Down to 1 member now. Oh, how is it going to be going? No, Rain's going to be out for the count. That is our 10th team down and out. And our Gun finally returning a little bit of a favor, returning some fire. Sincerity as well in the kill feed, putting some knocks into Nibble Esports. Drogons looking and just waiting for someone to peek. How you doing? Oh, everyone is just dropping like flies at the moment. And Pain, once again, they found 4KT. And it's looking like Pain might be the team to take them out for the count. Only 1 member remaining alive and well for 4KT to try and keep them in this. And Pain are very happy to take it instead. Oh, just the peeks around. They just can't find an angle on him right now. He's just hiding. He just don't join me right now. Gun as well, and Natural Killers having a little bit of a disagreement. So far, Shroud doing a nice little bit of damage. There's only Plaza left at the moment to try and help that Res or Nerf me pop off, so they can get back to full throttle, full members, 4 members ready to take out Natural Killers here, who are only down to 2. It's Roshi, it's Shroud. And they're a little bit outnumbered at this point. In addition to that, that zone has just told them that you've got some trouble.
I'm getting some flashbacks here, man. I'm pretty sure we saw a team in the same position that Shroud's in right now. Literally, either this yesterday or a week ago. So a little bit of deja vu almost. Natural Killers now having to move up, forced into the crosshairs of Gun, and of course Gun absolutely happy to receive that. They're just gonna say, yes, please give me that kill. Shroud now in a difficult spot trying to out-heal the zone, and we all know who wins those fights in the end. It's not you, it is the zone. He knows he has to get out of that as soon as possible, and off he goes trying to make the sprint. Teammate doing a little bit of distraction for the Gun team. As Shroud now makes his way up, he has managed to get into the zone, and he does put some good shots in, but that zone right at his heels doing so much damage. Shroud playing with death, dancing on the edge at the moment. Is he going to be able to stay alive for the time being, though? So low on HP, and the answer is no. Of course, the Drogons going to finish him off. as he starts to run on up. I mean, he had no HP in any case. Natural Killers getting hammered. Shroud of course, being taken down does mean they go out. 4 teams remaining. We've got Gun, we've got Sincerity, we have the Drogons here on the screen. Nerf looking for those shots, trying to find them across the way. Pain taking a lot of damage, not going down just yet, but Gunner absolutely looking for, but the third party's coming through. That's a bit of a problem. Nerf gonna hit the ground, and the rest of Gun now thrown into a little bit of disarray, and of course the rest being Blaza, who has to find some hits, and he has found a head, but he can't find the shots. That's terrible. Not gonna land a single hit, and instantly taken down in response. What a tragedy for Gun getting taken out. They will go out in 4th place. Now we've got Pain, we've got Sincerity, we've got the Drogons. It's Muffin for Sincerity, keeping them alive, snaking through the grass. They're trying to keep Sincerity in this one. And if they can let the Drogons fight right up here against Pain, they might just be able to make something happen. It's Pain in the top 3 once again. We saw them take the chicken in the previous game. They're looking to do the same thing, and they've got the numbers to make it happen. We might just see Pain taking another chicken here. It's very, very possible. If they maintain their position right on top of this mountain, they will put the shots in. Pain looking for another chicken, and they are doing the work to make it happen. The Drogons, no chance. Muffin, no chance. Look at this damage. Look at the HP. It's all but done and dusted at this point. Muffin inside the blue zone. The Pain have found themselves another chicken here in map number 2.
There's no way. I mean, at this stage, Muffin just has to look at healing, and 1 bullet will do it. Pain have taken the second chicken dinner. Winner to them. Absolutely beautiful plate. And again, look at the kills. Look at the kills that they're just racking up here. So not only are they getting the max point of 15 placement points, but they're also getting, my math is horrible, but basically
12.
what? 6, 7, 12? Man, look at you with quick maths. Nice. Sincerity going to be happy with that second place finish. That's going to move them up a little bit in terms of placement points. Not as many kill points as they would have wanted, only 4. And Drogons, they've done a little bit better this time, finishing in 3rd place with a little bit more. Well, actually a little bit less than the first map. So I think Drogons, they're just getting so close every single time. And they're one of the teams that always have most of their members alive towards the end. But it doesn't translate to what they really want, which is that final win, right? That final chicken dinner. Oh, it's unfortunate. But I think some of the teams definitely stepped it up this time around.
Yeah, look, I mean, Pain, definitely not a team that I expected to be getting chicken dinners, and definitely not back-to-back chicken dinners, and definitely not chicken dinner with 5 points, and now a chicken dinner with 12 points. I mean, that's a lot of score. They are definitely going to be shooting straight up that leaderboard.
I have said this from the beginning of the tournament. The team from Somalia, Pain Africa, have always caught my eye, and they've shown it today with 2 back-to-back winner chicken dinners. Let's take a look at what the leaderboard looks like after today's games.
Yeah, this is of course the most intriguing thing to take a look at. And finally, Pain, not only did they secure the chicken, but they also secured #1 slot for that game, which is great for them. 15 placement points for the chicken, 12 kill points, giving them a total of 27. The Drogons, of course, taking that 2nd slot. 19 points in total for them. Those kills looking absolutely juicy. Sincerity, of course, they did get those placements, but not that many kills, although enough to put them in 3rd place. 16 points for them. Gun, of course, going out in 4th, as we saw, with 15, just barely underneath Sincerity there. The Natural Killers also went looking for some good kills, and they did find them. 11 points there for them in total. 4KT also finding those 5 kills, giving them a total of 9 there in 6th place. A Comfy Cartel coming in with 5, and of course Nibble coming in with 3. So we're actually seeing them in the top page again, but it's just not enough. I mean, 3 points is not enough to get you out of that relegation zone, and that's what Nibble are fighting at the moment. They're trying to get themselves out of there, and it's just not going to happen with numbers like that. They're really trying to put those numbers up, and they've been doing a decent job of actually finding themselves a little bit higher and higher on the leaderboard, but they really need to turn that game up to 11. Of course, the next page looking equally as concerning for our man Dr. Sid there. Sidizens taking up that 9th spot with 3. Rain from Hell also with 3 and 10. Euphoric Gods with 2, as well as the Young Thundercats and Lag, all with 2 points each in 11, 12, and 13. Toxic with 1, Outsiders, and NFxUNIQUE with nothing coming in to those bottom slots there. So a tough game for some of these teams, and Toxic finding it really, really tough pretty much all season long.
Well, I'm happy to see that. Look at Pain Africa's King Amin with the 5 kill MVP performance in that last match. Super proud of him, super happy to see that. I'm rooting for this team from Somalia. I think they're gonna do well in this tournament. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have had two amazing games. The close quarterback of Sandhawk just showed that Plain Africa has qualities and deserves to be in the top tier of the Umzansi Esports League Season 3, brought to you by Northern Gaming. We will be right back after this break with our final match of the day in the PUBG Mobile Tournament. See you right after the break. It's me, Dr. Sid, Patchy, and X-Proxy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Umzansi Esports League Season 3, brought to you by Nodwing Gaming. This is day 8, and there has been a lot of action in the PUBG Mobile tournament. My name is Dr. Sid. I'm here with Ez Proxy and Patchy as we have what?
I gave you a talking to. Eh? I was like,
you did. As we are bringing you the hottest action in competitive esports on the African continent. Ladies and gentlemen, action has gone down. Bullets have flown, points have been taken, and the leaderboard has been shifted. As we say in Nigeria, the table has been shaken.
Yeah,
Patchy?
I would say that, Patchy. Please explain to us.
Look at these shaken tables, man. Gun sitting on top, not with 160, not with 170, with 178 points, almost 180. And I mean, if Gun can do anything, they can get some points in this final game. They're going to be sitting over 180 easily, right at the top of that spot. And of course, it's going to be up to G3, it's going to be up to Zero Tolerance, Slime4KT to try and make those numbers up. And I mean, G3 has probably got the best chance to be able to do something like that. So of course, when we see them back in the groups again, we'll have a look at them and see how that storyline continues. But I mean, just moving down the list, 4KT definitely need to keep getting those points on the board. And of course, these teams, all of them pretty safe for the time being. I mean, BBC, Undisputed AE, Pain, Natural Killers, right now these teams are safe. Now that we know that could potentially change depending on if some of the teams in the next page decide to actually perform when they pop up in the groups. But for the time being, these are the safe teams, and we didn't really expect anything less from teams like NFxUNIQUE, from teams like BBC and Undisputed AE, and of course now, surprisingly, Pain, who is sitting on a very nice and spicy 98 points in total there. Of course, moving into the next page, these guys are the ones who need to watch themselves a little bit because the fire is just burning underneath them just a little bit. Anything can happen here. You know, they're swimming just barely above the water at this time. Ultra 6 being the one right at the bottom there, 24. They need to be very, very careful when we see them again in the groups. Of course, Euphoric Gods also sitting at the top. So they have the best chance of moving into the next page and trying to just make that gap a little bit bigger. Of course, it's these teams here on the final page that do need to be a little bit worried. A couple of good games, though, in fact, even one good game could easily propel them out of the situation that they find themselves in at the moment. I mean, Sidizens, for instance, 55 points. I know Sid is absolutely looking at those numbers right there. 55 points. That's not all too far off from the 60, 70 on the next page. So a good game, a single chicken, even, you know, maybe 10 kills in their pocket could be enough to propel them out of this position. And I mean, that really just comes down to the moment. It comes down to the chances they get given. And right now, we have one chance for today, that, of course, being the Miramar map. And, I mean, anything could happen.
I'm speechless. I think the leaderboard is traumatic for me now. Just looking at it just gives me anxiety. But ladies and gentlemen, that is what the entire Umzansi Esports League is all about. It's about anxiety, it's about passion, it's about Pain Africa moving out of the relegation zone into safety in one day. If you get my meaning. Which means that it is possible for people to actually up their level of gameplay and make it into a safety zone. Because as we know, only the top 24 teams will be making it into the next round. And we will see only the teams who make it there deserve to be there. Ez?
I'm going to lay down some facts. There's 4 more days of games left for these teams to get out of relegation.
Yo,
and obviously we
straight
know
facts.
Not all the teams are going to play every single day. So, I mean, if you're looking at it, we're looking at Group C and D right now. So D has another 2 chances and C have another 2 chances after today. So depending on where you're sitting, of course, these games are very important because you got 2 more chances after this.
Yes, very important. And it is very important. This map, Miramar, is a very, very, very interesting map. As I have learned, it is probably the same size as a Wrangle, but it is spaced out and the long-range game comes out. So let's see if boys are going to be ready to take those headshots, drop those teams, get those points, and contribute to the excitement that is the Umzansi Esports League Season 3 brought to you by Northern Gaming. And as I do say all the time, if you are not following Northern Gaming on all our socials, you need to do so right now, because you will be missing out on all the information, the insider scoops, and the stats as we share them with you on our social media pages. We are just waiting for the teams to get into the plane. The flight is about to take off and the game is about to start. Will it be Gun Pain Africa? Would it be Nibble coming up with something exciting? You are all about to find out as we are flying all the way from Impala to Valdemar. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Miramar. See you after the game.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Sid. And actually just going back to the size of the map, if you have a look at the map right now for Miramar, you'll see that there's actually not as much water as there is on Erangel. So despite the fact that the blocks may be relatively similar, there is a lot less water here on this map. And the reason that's one of the reasons why it feels so big, but also there's a lot more open area, right? Like you can just sit on the top of a mountain and, you know, shoot across the map. We've seen it happen. G3 Temper did it yesterday, or yeah, I think it was yesterday. So I mean, it's possible, and that's why it feels so big, because it's just like, you know, you're in this giant box where you see across the map, and
it's also the balance, right? I mean, we talk about Erangel being well balanced. It's, you know, it's cover, it's a little bit of cover spread out. It's not as much cover as the clusters are on Miramar, but it would be a cluster, then it's just nothing. Then it'd be another cluster, and then it's just nothing. So you're constantly running in between these alternating changes of cover and of you know, views, that it makes it difficult for, especially if you find yourself in those gaps where there is no cover, there's no clusters, there's no buildings, there's nothing that you can work with, just mountains and hills. And that's so
look at that bait and switch.
Okay, the zone woke up. And
was that a hot drop? I think we just got a hot drop. Pain dropped straight in with somebody, I can't see who it was. That was way too quick on the kill feed there, but somebody just got punched.
No way. Pain not feeling it today.
Someone just got a fist sandwich in the face.
It's lag, but
it's
they turned around. Lag turned around and got some revenge. So now we've got that hot drop we've been waiting for. And so far, Lag are looking to take out our winners. They're not going to get any chicken dinners at this point, because Lag are going to be putting in the final nails in the coffin of Pain. Only one member remaining, still standing to try and keep Pain in this. And it's the Beast. The Beast with an M4 and the Dream at this point. He's still busy looting. He wasn't ready for this. And instead, Lag decided, hey, you know what? We can do exactly what Patchy's been asking for. We can give them the treat they've been waiting for. We are going to hot drop. We are going to take out Pain so that we don't have to worry about them later on, because Pain have been fantastic. Okay. Okay.
I'm
finish it off with a nade.
I am so glad you said that what Patchy has been asking for, because I've been asking for this the whole time, and it's so good to see it in action. It feels amazing to see it in action, because Lag absolutely caught Pain with their pants down. That's exactly what happened there, and that's exactly what I've been saying. This is what I'm saying, lads. Get in there and take people by surprise. They're not expecting you to do this, because nobody does it. Nobody does it, and they're not expecting you. So you just pop in and you're like, hey, here's a knuckle sandwich, but also goodbye. You know, your entire team is going to get hammered now because you didn't have any time to prepare, and we are just quicker on the draw. Let's go. And now I know, I get it. It's not really tactical. It's not really strategic. It can really be very random, but man, was that fun. I mean, let's be honest here. If you really get good at your hot drops, you could absolutely wreak havoc across the map, and you could really bring the pain to some top teams. You know what I'm saying? Like this team, they're so used to not being challenged that the moment you challenge them, it's like, whoa, what's going on? And you catch them off guard, you can get some damage done. And I mean, you don't have to get the team wipe necessarily. You could drop very close by in the opposite compound and just put some shots across. The damage is, you know, very, very worth it. Even a kill, you know, a kill is 100% worth it. So yeah, I'm really glad we got to see that. That was some quality stuff right there from Lag.
I like it, I like it, I like it. So, I mean, just like that, we've had a team drop out immediately. So, Pain, Africa, unfortunately, that's all the points that you're getting today. And Lag had something to say about it. So, beautiful start for them as well. I mean, just going, beyond, I mean, getting a couple of team kills early on, that's fantastic. Going and getting an entire team wipe, that's just, I mean, just overachievers, really. Let's talk about it. So the first 4 kills going straight to Lag's pockets. They're going to be happy with those points because they definitely want to continue on and just grow that lead as much as they can. Climb up that leaderboard, get some safety, and get some bragging rights later on. I think we'll be talking about this one for a while. So, yeah, Miramar. I'm pretty sure I was talking about something earlier on. Oh yes, Miramar, the split that you talk about. Those gaps between the clusters of buildings. I mean, you can look at it now. Looking at this specific area, it's so dense. You've got so many buildings. You have so much cover. But then you get areas in Miramar that are it's empty. There's nothing. It's just hills, as we can see here. Sincerity now running through it. There's maybe a building here and there, but mostly you have to rely on those vehicles, and that's where those vehicles really become important. And as Tempo showed us last night, you can use buggies to climb mountains. Didn't know that. Now you do. You can get into fantastic positions, and you can rotate early on to sit in the zone and wait for the teams. That is if you're playing that game. But for the most part, I think Group C and D, they've really woken me up today. I mean, they are so active. They've really been giving us and the viewers what they want to see. They've been just giving us straight action from the beginning, like Lag. And yeah, let's talk about that zone.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the bait that
Yeah.
zone threw. We have a perfect flight path towards the southern part of the map, and then the zone was like, what would be horrible if I just decided to plump my butt right at the top of the map, right in the north side, and just tell you all to rotate now.
Yeah, that's something that the game does. This is something that it likes to do. A lot of people think the zone is just a randomized generator from numbers from the game. No. The zone is an alive entity that listens to you through your phone and just absolutely trolls you to Kingdom Come. I mean, this
permanently all the day.
Every time, every single time. I mean, you think I'm joking? If you did not watch the previous season of the Umzansi Esports League, it might actually just be worth checking out for the sake of it, because we had exactly this, where the zone has listened to what I'm saying, to what the players are saying, and it's like, you know what? You want a nice zone? How about no? How about we do the same thing that we did yesterday, today again? Or how about we do the same thing as the previous game, where we just, don't help you at all? So that zone, it's malicious, it's malevolent, is what that zone is. It can really come out to troll you just a little bit. So you have to be careful about that. It does do that sometimes.
It kicks you when you're down.
Yeah.
It kicks you when you're up.
And it enjoys it as well. It enjoys it when it kicks you.
It just
while you're down.
It enjoys it. It's fun. How they designed the thing. I'm telling you. I think you're onto something here, Patchy.
Yeah, it's an
We're
AI.
telling the real truth. We're telling the real truth about PUBG Mobile here. That's what they didn't want us to know.
Yeah, they've been pushing the truth down, but you've heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You have heard it here first. This is where the truth comes out. It's the Nodwin Esports League. It's the Umzansi PUBG Mobile. It's your boy Patchy. It's Esport. We're giving you the straight facts, all right? That's what you get in here.
It's
You're
not
not just getting
conspiracies at all.
No,
it's pure
facts. It's pure facts.
100%.
That's what you're getting here.
We are PUBG developers, and we're telling you this. No, I'm lying now. Anyway, moving on. We've got 15 teams left. Rotations are coming through now as the first zone is closing, and as Toxic, a little bit of explosions there towards Sincerity. So Sincerity not going to be happy with that. And I actually wanted to bring this up. Sincerity did really fantastically. They've been in such horrible positions, but they moved themselves up so close to that top 8 that now they're sitting pretty. They're happy with their performance thus far. And, the young Thundercats, I mean, can we talk about the amount of times that they got third-partied, fourth-partied, clustered, sandwiched? Everything just happened to them. Everything just went wrong for them on Sandhawk. So definitely looking at Miramar, they want a little bit of redemption. And that might start with Gun. Turning back my attention to Serenity, Sincerity, they've now had 2 members drop to 2 different teams.
Yeah, Nibble's actually one of them.
Nibble and Toxic. We saw 2 of the teams that were at the bottom in danger of relegation. So those 2 teams are awake. They're ready to, get the points. Toxic, I think, needs it more than Nibble does, but Nibble so far have been pretty good at finding two.
I mean, right now, I really hope that the story of pain is maybe gonna boost a little bit of the confidence of some of the teams that are sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard, because it is possible to get out of that slump. It is possible to break out of that bottom portion of the leaderboard. It's definitely possible to get out of that relegation zone. You know, you really can do it. It's not impossible. It's not out of the range of possibility. You can get it done. Pain Africa is a great example of that, and the rest of the teams need to follow suit. The teams in that relegation zone, they need to try something here. Nibble's one of them. Toxic, I'm not sure. Is Toxic sitting right at the bottom? I think they're actually dead last.
Very close. Yeah.
Or very close to dead last, which is, I mean, that's a really tough spot to be in. So, I mean, to put the foot on the gas is really what needs to happen now. Whether they can do it, I'm not sure. I mean, historically, they haven't given us any reason to believe that they can make it happen, but at least it is possible. For the time being, though, it is Gun putting some shots in with that Mini 14. It's Aimbot trying to, find some shots in towards the outsiders, who also have Mini 14s of their own, ready to return fire. We got Hound right up here, looking for any potential victims down in the compound. Just up ahead of them, Pounds going to take a little bit of damage. Doesn't go down, though. Gun still managing to keep themselves alive all across the board here. Some shots actually coming in from Lag. These guys have just been on something else today. They were like, you know what, we're tired of losing. Let's just try and do something. They hot drop. They beat someone in the face with a fist. And then they get the first team wipe. And now they're out here annoying the young Thundercats. Like, yo, we want your team. Yo, give us your kills. Lag is just out here on something.
Yeah, you mentioned historically, Toxic hasn't given us a reason to yada yada yada. Historically, none of these teams have. And yet, the teams that have historically been quiet, like Pain Africa, just decided to take two, winner chicken dinners today. Out of nothing. And some of the best kill points in the lobbies. Consistently. 2 in a row. So, historically, stats mean nothing in PUBG. Like 11 falling out of a car there. It's not a good feeling, man. But yeah, Young Thundercats once again down to 2 members only, having to get out of the cluster that is every single team looking to take them out of the count early on. And that's just, it's problematic. I mean, they just ran away from Lag, and now they're going to run straight into NFxUNIQUE. From fight to fight, and actually there's another team pulling up, and if that's Lag, I mean, that's just the danger bells for everyone right now. Get away. These players are on something. It's actually Gun that have pulled up on this this triangle here that is the Young Thundercats and NFxUNIQUE. Young Thundercats only down to 2 members. Unique, they know exactly where they're at, and now Gun is going to throw a wrench in the pot, looking to take out what looks like Terry there. Oh, he's a little bit split up. Sandwiched between Gun and Young Thundercats, so it's not a good place to be. And as the second zone is finishing up, this might force the issue as well, depending on where that zone is going to rear its ugly head and show us that its true AI powers are active and ready.
Yeah, it's all about that mind control, Proxy. That's what it's about. It's the mind control AI global new world order, whatever. That's what we gotta fight it. We gotta fight it, and the way you beat it is by showing that you can get those chickens. That's what we're looking at the moment. Gun are going to be retreating out of that situation, wisely so as well. Of course, NFxUNIQUE also doing the same, just pulling back into the other side of the compound. Although a little bit of damage done, Terry just barely making it out. Cage trying to find those long-range shots towards the Young Thundercats. Not going to find anything, but at least they get out alive. So that's at least a step up. That's a plus. We'll see if they can keep it. At the moment, we're 3 zones in. We're about to move towards that 4th. And as we make our way in towards the mid-game, we will see a whole bunch more fights start to pick up for sure. But it's been great to see some of the early stuff that Lag has done across the board. Now, of course, on this map, you can see the zone has pulled up in towards that northeastern corner. And so, well, as much as circles can have corners. And of course, the teams will be moving up into that, most of them already across that line. Nibble to make their way across, but everyone else pretty much sitting pretty for the time being.
I mean, Young Thundercats, they're somehow, some way still finding ways to do damage. Taking out 1 member there from 4KT, trying to get the rotation through. So the res, they are scrambling to try and get an NFxUNIQUE. They're just right behind them. Young Thundercats might find themselves in a little bit of a spot of trouble here. Rotations have to come through, and we are on zone 3. busy closing, and Lag just on the other side, which I'm sure they're very happy to get involved in another team fight, take a couple of kills, add it to the ranks, and continue on. That zone already getting quite tight with the amount of teams we still have. We've only had one team drop, I remind you. Only one single team dropped, and we're on zone 3. So this is what we've been used to, this quiet, and then just sheer chaos in those small zones. So Cartel as well, I saw they're taking a little bit of damage, unfortunately. They've also been a team that I feel like have just had such bad luck. I mean, they find themselves time and time again in those situations where they're fighting for 5 teams all at the same time. Just all of them wanting to take a piece out of them. Natural Killers, also a team in a little bit of trouble, fighting Nibble Esport here. Trying to find the shots instead is going to be taking some damage. They're going to say, no thank you. Let me bob and weave my way right out of this, as Sincerity actually keep taking hits out of Comfy Cartel and taking kills as well. Good little bit of conversion from them to get some points. Toxic somehow, some way, finally still in this. But for how long? Natural Killers looking to put the final nail in the coffin of the Comfy Cartel. Broly just trying to avoid those shots. They're deadly. They're not fun. And as we look at the 4th zone, this was the side where they have to rotate into. Whoa. At this point, Natural Killers, they're just gatekeeping everyone.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we want to see, though. It's great. I mean, you have to sort of do it on this map as well, because it's difficult to get those full squad wipes on this map. That's one of the things about Miramar that makes it difficult. It's so open and large that you can actually see teams coming from a mile away, literally. And it's tough to get the squad wipes. And so those long-range engagements almost always lend themselves to being picking off teams and players one by one. And that's what we're seeing here. Lots of teams and players just getting picked off here and there one by one. A lot of numbers dropping. NFxUNIQUE actually, they're like, yeah, let's get in this one. Let's bring the party to you. They've done exactly that. Page goes down and actually managing to take down the unknown elements over there. And of course, you can see that blue zone washing over. The healths are absolutely low and not going to get the healing in time. That's going to be an absolute tragedy. Of course, the outside is now right here with Natural Killers just ahead of them, pushing past the Comfy Cartel in a really tough spot, dancing on the edge of the zone with Molotovs and smokes burning all over the place. Shots coming through. Down goes the Cartel, as they are not able to deal with the Natural Killers and the Outsiders. Now, of course, it is the Outsiders versus the Natural Killers who have to put those shots in. Who is going to make it happen? Drogons also coming into the party. It's an absolute rave going on here. The shots are flying. Orisa trying to land them in, but absolutely surrounded at the moment. All of the teams left, right, and center trying to stay alive. Outsiders spreading out in a line, but the lines coming in from all of the shots from the Drogons and, of course, from the Natural Killers here. The shots coming through from Nibble, as well as the Citizens take on
Euphoric Gods.
Euphoric Gods, yeah. So this is tough. I mean, even Lag is putting in the shots. This is crazy, man. I mean, the 4KT putting them in, Natural Killers, everyone's fighting now along the perimeter of the zone.
Yeah, everyone's, picked a target. I think Nibble was busy fighting what looked like pretty much everyone. I don't know, they were just all on that kill feed. And as we look at the Drogons now finding NFxUNIQUE, looking to take them out. We're down to 12 squads in a matter of a couple of seconds, and everyone is hurting at this point. Euphoric Gods and Citizens still taking that fight out. And no winner has yet been crowned. And 4KT and Lag, they also have a little bit of a disagreement at the moment. It's tat for tat at the moment. Everyone's just fighting each other. Everyone is getting those knocks, but not a team has dropped just yet. As I say that, though, I think that might have been... Ooh, was that Euphoric Gods that just dropped? It looks like it's Citizens did win the fight there with Euphoric Gods, so they're going to be happy with that. Taking that team wipe now, looking to stay in this even longer. Drogons taking a fight there with NFxUNIQUE, trying to get them out as soon as possible, and 4KT just can't catch break, man. They've taken fights from Lag, they've taken guns now, well, they've taken shots now from Gun, who are looking to put Gun in the coffin, and Lag and Toxic and Gun have all taken a piece out of 4KT, who will be heading back to the lobby. Unfortunately for them, that is it for tonight. Lag, though, I think they've finally just taken some damage here from Gun, and they might be in a little bit of trouble here. Not sure how many members are remaining just yet, but for the moment, we look and point our attention towards the Outsiders here, who are staring down the barrel of a little bit of a situation here. They've got Natural Killers towards the top. Lag still in the middle of Gun. Territory, who are just looking to take them out finally. And Pounds and Plaza, they're doing well. Those nades might connect. 2 are down. I think only 1 member remaining and alive for Lag, maybe 2. Can't see around that ridge just yet, but that zone is getting so tiny. And Gun have full control of it at the moment. They are literally just gatekeeping Lag, making it almost impossible for them to get in. Oh, the res.
Oh, yeah, that's
you
not
died,
coming in.
no.
That they have just been nuked out of existence. Oh man, that's so tough. And I've been so impressed with Lag too. They've been doing so well this game. They've been really impressive. But Gun just absolutely not having any of that today. They're like, no, thank you, sir. You're not going to be able to move. We're going to make sure that we just come and get you. Plaza actually just doing a little bit of scouting there. Just a bait and switch with Pounds to get those shots in, and the final nail in the coffin for Lag. And just Gun doing a bit of flexing over there, just doing the bait and switch. I mean, that's some really great tactics coming out from Gun. We see them do this every now and then. They're a little bit cheeky like that. They do it. But we got 8 teams left, 21 players alive. Yeah, we all like it. Drogons now taking quite a bit of damage from Gun as they continue to do what they do. Just make themselves some uses here on this map, and Gun really looking to solidify their lead here. They know that they want to go for those bragging rights at the top spot moving into the next round, and they're just going for it, man. They are putting no holds barred on this situation here. Just absolutely going ham on all of the surrounding teams. Citizens actually have made it into the top 10 so far. Still alive is 11. Keeping the hopes and dreams alive, and trying to keep himself alive as well. We'll see how long it lasts as the rest of the teams now go and add it. Natural Killers trying to move up. Seller so low on HP. The res does come through just in the nick of time though, but that blue zone, it's going to be a problem. It's moving up super quick, and we're 5 zones in already. That's going to do a lot of damage, and I think this might be a bit too much. Yeah, here comes the blue zone, and it's... Oh, that was literally on the edge right there. And speaking of, shots not coming through from the edges of the zone, as all the teams on the surrounding perimeter put those shots right up and down in towards one another. The outside boom shot into Natural Killers, who get taken down. That's a huge problem for them. I'm not sure if they're even going to be able to recuperate from that. Indeed, the shots go through. The nail in the coffin is there. The blue zone is the problem, and Shroud and I can't see the other one there for the Natural Killers at the last 2 remaining. Not going to get any reinforcements from their team. The outside is now off to the side. Maybe going to try and take a fight with either the Natural Killers or with the Drogons here, who they have to engage with because they need to rotate. I mean, look at that zone. It's off down towards the east. They have to make a dash for it. With all the teams in the surrounding area, it's going to be super, super tough. They need to move, and that means they need to fight. And so they're just trying to find those shots. The outsiders trying to land them. Gun continuing to put those shots into all of the teams in the surrounding area. The Drogons are the new targets of their rage at the moment. We'll have a look and see if anyone is going to be able to break out of this difficult spot here. Because right now, these teams are sort of locked.
They are, and I wanted to point out, Citizens, they've only got 11 left, and he was one of the first members to go out on Sandhawk. Now is the only one alive, and he's sitting right behind Gun. The other thing is Nibble is still in this. Outsiders are still in this. Natural Killers teams that we haven't seen in those top spots, they are still in this, and they are looking pretty good. Drogons on damage here from Gun, and Outsiders putting the final nails potentially into Natural Killers. They're taking a lot of damage. 11 is still fighting with Nibble, so even though he's solo, he is looking for those kills. He's not only looking for placements, but he's looking for the kills. Outsiders and Guns ultimately getting most of those kills. The Outsiders, they look, I think they're down to 1 member still alive, and 11 is still out here finding kills. He's just picking up anyone and everyone that he can find somehow, some way. Gun, of course, they've got quite a good position here. They've got pretty much all the real estate in check as they're holding the zone right now. 11 still pumping shots. They has to be heard here by Gun. He's fighting Nibble on the back line. That vehicle doing a lot of damage. Vindog has to be careful. We're down to 3 teams. It's Gun, it's Nibble, it's Citizens. Citizens and Nibble down to 1 member each, whereas Gun, they've got all 4 ready and happy to take this away from them. Ready to take their first... Wow, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but to take their first chicken dinner tonight. They've been so consistent. They've been the team getting the most kills, getting the most points, sitting at the top of our leaderboard, and this might be their first chicken dinner for tonight. That's crazy to think about, but looking at it now, they still have 9 kills. They can take up 2 more. That's 11. That's 15 points. That would be insane. only team with all 4 members alive, and the only team with some fantastic cover to work with here. That zone closing up now. It's going to be between 11 and Vindog about who makes the first move. And then as soon as they do, that's it. That's the trigger for Gun to jump and take them out for good and take the dinner.
First of all, this is huge for Citizens right here. Top 3 finish guaranteed for them. That's big. That's going to give them some decent points at the very least. We'll see if they can make it up, though. We'll see if they can make it maybe into second place, as Vindog is going to be the next one. And of course, Nibble guaranteeing a top 3 finish as well. That's huge for them. 11 actually going to be challenging here. He's like, no, I'm the only solo right here that's going to be able to go through on this one. He's looking for it. He wants that top 2. He wants that final finish. He's going for the spray, but he's going to be punished for it. The shot's going to give him away, and up come the Gun team to put them in. He's going to find one. Is he going to find another? No, Pounds too quick on the trigger, going to find the damage necessary, and that's going to mean that Citizens will go out in 3rd place, and of course, Nibble will go out in 2nd here. It's just a matter of time as Gun now start to close in on their prey, ready to finish this game off nice and quick, and it shouldn't be too long now. I very much doubt that Vindog is going to be able to clutch this one out 1v3. It's a little bit too much of an ask here. The Gun team is moving forward. They have dropped 1 player, so it's a 1v3. But Aimbot and the rest of them moving in, and there, of course, is the final nail in the coffin there for that one. Gun going to be picking up that chicken dinner, followed by Nibble, followed by the Citizens, who have managed to find some kills. So look at this. I mean, Gun absolutely going nuts with those kills. And then, of course, look at Nibble. They've managed to pick up 9 kills for themselves, along with the Citizens, who picked up 5. So they have got some decent points, and I'm very curious to see how this is going to reflect on the overall standings for them, because they are desperately in need of those points.
Yeah, they're definitely a team that out of all those teams that we were looking at and saying, they're at relegation point right now. They're not in top 24. Nibble has been one of the teams that have literally just rise to the occasion alongside Pain Africa. They've completely moved themselves from that last page of doom into the safety net, and they've been doing fantastically. I have to remind you, Nibble, they've been playing with 3 players the entire night. I called them out for it, and I was like, hey, where's your 4th? It looks like they don't really need it, because they're really performing beautifully, especially on Murmur. I think that's one of the best performances I've seen of Nibble so far, and they need to be happy with that. That was beautiful. Sid. We can't hear you, sir.
Oh my goodness. Yes, side eyes definitely work, because I believe that the guys from Nibble and Citizens Esports definitely saw my side eye, and they came up with the goods on the final map. Like I said, it is the action that is the Umzansi Esports League Season 3 brought to you by Norway Gaming. Let's take a look at what the updated score sheet for today's game is.
Yeah, I'm super keen to see that one. It's going to be really interesting, because Gun, they're pretty much at the top now. They've got lots of points, and it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the teams are going to be approaching that. Because of course G3 Temper is the one who is going to try and take that spot back, and they're going to have to put some points in. Now, of course, I do expect them to get points. G3, they're a strong team. We generally expect them to get a pretty decent amount of points every time that they're on the board. But yeah, here it is. So Gun, of course, in this game, taking that chicken dinner plus 11 kills, 26 points for them. Nibble, 12 placement points for that 2nd place, 9 kills, going to give them 21. Citizens taking up a nice 15 points with those 5 kills in 3rd place. So that is some really, really important points for both Nibble and the Citizens there, who are trying to get out of that relegation zone. It's going to be huge to try and reflect on that. Of course, Outside is taking that 4th position with 13 points. We got the Drogons in 5th place with 11 points. We've got Lag Sports in 6th with 8. Natural Killers in 7th with 6. We've got Euphoric Gods in 8th place with 4 points. So, yeah, some really great performances coming out of some of the lower down teams on that overall leaderboard. Of course, heading into the next page, we've got Toxic, who did manage to get a couple of points with those 3 kills, landing them on 4 in 9th place. Slime 4KT with the 3 points in 10. NFxUNIQUE with 3 in 11. Sincerity with 2 in 12. And then Pain, the Comfy Cartel, Rain from Hell, and Young Thundercats, all with 0 in 13, 14, 15, and 16, respectively. Of course, we did see those teams get taken back to the lobby quite quickly. So it is a bit unfortunate for them, of course. I think Pain was the first victim there of Lag, who decided to take out their frustrations on them. Of course, the MVP is going to be Pounds from Gun, picking up a very, very spicy 6 kills for the team and bringing them in to some serious points at the end of that game.
Super serious points. As I'm just looking at, it's been a very, very interesting day today. I mean, Slime 4KT, probably one of the best teams in Africa, down there below, not getting the points, not having a very, very good day at all. Pain Africa getting 2 back-to-back winner chicken dinners and ending up in the bottom of that. You know, it's just so unbelievable when you see what happens to these teams. So obviously these points have come through and they're definitely going to have a very, very, very profound effect on the overall leaderboard, with some teams coming out of that relegation zone and other teams being staking their claim. So let's take a look at what this looks like right now. Doesn't seem to be much change at the top.
204 points for Gamers Unite Nations. They're also out here uniting the points and taking quite a considerable lead. Temper now have to put at least 40 points on the board to make it up there and be comparable here. So they've got a lot of work ahead of them. Gun have definitely put some work in. Of course, Zero Tolerance still sitting in that 3rd spot. We got 4KT taking up 4th with 131 points. So they have at least a little bit of a gap. Over Influence Rage sitting in 5th place. The Immortalz in 6th with 113. We've still got Sincerity in 7 and Aphelion Apex in 8. So not too much change on that particular side. I'm interested, though, to see where we might see. I think the 3rd and 4th page are going to be the most interesting to have a look at. Of course, moving into the 2nd page, we've Undisputed AE right at the top there, followed by the Natural Killers, who did manage to put a couple of points on the boards, along with the Drogons finding themselves on 103 points respectively. Pain with those back-to-back chickens did manage to bring themselves up the leaderboard, so they're currently sitting in 13th place with 98 points, which is quite respectable to say the least. Rain from Hell, Euphoric Gods, and Not Gaming, of course, the teams that are following on that. Moving into the next page, though, this is where things are going to get spicy. We're seeing the Citizens Gaming moved up to 23rd place, so they have gotten themselves out of that relegation zone. They've made it happen, and they really put the work in to do that. Of course, now Lag Esports sitting in that 18th place. They did put some decent kills in, especially in that last game of Miramar. They're just absolutely slapping the hell out of somebody. Comfy Cartel sitting in 2nd place, 22nd place, should I say, as well, with 72 points. So definitely a respectable performance coming out of the Citizens to put them into the 23rd position. What I'm interested to see now is where Nibble sits after picking up 2nd place here. Of course, Black Clover now at the bottom of that one. So moving into the last page here is the Young Thundercats sitting on 25th. So they are just at the cusp, at the edge of making it happen. Nibble still sitting in 28 with 51 points, but certainly it's not impossible for them to make it out now. I mean, the gap is not that big. They just have to find something. But I mean, once again, really well played to the Citizens for being able to bring themselves out of that relegation.
I'm very curious to find out. You know how when you're watching like football matches, you kind of do like a calculation to see if it is mathematically impossible for a team to make it out of the relegation zone. So I'm going to be looking at the scoreboard later on off Northern Gaming socials to do some mathematics and see which team would it be impossible for them to qualify for the next round. But ladies and gentlemen, as Patchy, we have done and witness some amazing gameplay today. Pain bringing their A game that has shown that they could move up the leaderboard. Citizens moving up the leaderboard as well, but Gun actually setting some distance between them and the rest of the leaderboard to show that they can probably just see for the rest of this round and still be safe. So, I mean, I want to say big thank you to you guys. You guys have done an amazing job. It has been so exciting watching the matches today. The play-by-play, the casting has been so beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it when the games were on, and I'm sure the viewers at home enjoyed watching it too. This is day 8 of the Umzansi Esports League Season 3. We've had so much fun today. We will see you guys tomorrow for more action from the best esports league on the African continent. Have a good night, guys.